Alright then. Well, hey guys, what's going on? This is gonna be a bit of a different video than usual, and I just want to say right out of the gate, if you're one of the, I don't know, 20 people who subscribed from the last video, you can go ahead and just click on that unsubscribe button and back out of this video, because we're not doing another TF2 hat crafting video ever. It's not gonna happen. I lost so much money from the first one. Now, not to say that I don't stand by my financial advice, because I do guarantee that if you yourself do this, you will get loads of money. It's just I got really unlucky, and I was already heavily in debt, and so it just didn't work out for me. You know, I think that you should definitely craft hats if you can. It just wasn't in the cards for me specifically. I got very unlucky. And no, I don't have any affiliation with any kind of hat gambling site. Anyway, now that all those people are gone, we're just gonna sit back and install Windows Vista. Now, why are we doing this? Well, I have some things to talk about with regards to doughbyte, and in particular Aegis of Rodon. And I just felt like it would be a lot easier for me, and potentially for you, to just have it in a video like this, rather than in a big blog post or something like that. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna chill and talk. And maybe in the future I'll do another video like this. But this is a rare, not a shitpost on the channel. Well, it kind of is. But regardless. What I've got here, I honestly don't even know what the fuck version of Vista this is. I have no idea what SKU it is. I downloaded it off of Internet Archive. And, you know, I tested it a little bit. I plugged it in to make sure that it got past this screen and it actually works. But I don't know what kind of Vista this is, so it's going to be a learning experience for both of us. And we're installing this on hardware that is probably not Vista compatible. What we have here is a, what is this? A Dell, this is it's a Dell, oh, it's a Dell Dimension 4600C, which I'm just going to look up the specs. I don't think that this thing can... This is like an old computer. This is probably a 2004 or 2003 computer. So it's probably not going to run Vista great. Although it was a pretty top-of-the-line computer for its time. So maybe there's hope. Let's see, I just want to get the specs on this. So let's see if I can find these. Yeah, I've got a manual pulled up in front of me on the other computer, and just looking for just specs. There we go, specifications on page 73. Imagine being the guy who writes a 73-page manual about this. Yes, we're running a Pentium 4. We've got... Oh yeah, there's an AGP graphics card in here, isn't there? How much RAM do we have? We have somewhere between 256 megabytes and 2 gigabytes. I think Vista can run already on 256 gigabytes. We're going to look up minimum requirements for Windows Vista. And tell you what, if we can install this and it goes fine, then we're going to put Arrow. We're going to try to get Arrow to work on this. Okay, so they want at least an Indiana University. Why am I getting results from this? Well, I trust them, whatever. We need at least an 800 megahertz processor, and the Pentium 4 is something. I don't know, actually. I'm sure it's fast enough. 512 megabytes of system memory, so hopefully we have that much at least. I think that we have a gig in here, I believe, but I'm not sure. And yeah, what's our graphics card? We have Intel integrated AGP. Oh boy, that's a bad sign. Well, hopefully it's DirectX compatible. The other weird thing that's happening in this installation is we're running this off of a USB and not a CD or DVD, because I do not have a Windows Vista CD. I think that was clear from what I said before about where I got this. And I don't have any rewritable CDs I could have burned the pirated copy to. So yeah, I had to put it on a USB, and that's it's trivial with Rufus, thankfully, but I don't know if that's going to introduce some weirdness. I do see that our mouse is working fine, so we should be all right. But let's just go ahead. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's stop faffing around. I don't know how long this is going to take, and I also don't know if this is going to ask me for a CD key and force me to put it in. I do know that on some versions of Vista, they let you skip putting in the product key, where you can just say, "Trust me, dude, I got this." If they do require us to look for a product key or have a product key, I'm going to look for one on the internet. Because piracy is cool when it's deserved. Oh shit. Wow, we're okay, that was fast. Yeah, so they do not give us the choice to skip unless. Ooh. Yeah, so we do not want to enter our product key because we are legitimate users of Windows Vista. And yeah, we'll just go ahead and say, yeah, I got Ultimate. Why not, right? I definitely purchased that. Yep, I bought it. That's absolutely the case. So this is a pretty shit machine, and I'm hoping that it takes a while so that I actually have time to talk. But if it finishes quickly, we'll I guess do some other shit. Yeah, I can't upgrade. I can't do custom. There's some like weird ass Linux on here already. So we're gonna have to delete these. Delete. Oh no, I'm deleting these on my main computer. LOL. And again, this is a computer that's from 2004, but it was top of the line, and it was really, really expensive, if I remember correctly. And I didn't buy it. Oh, you hear that? That's some Pentium noise. Okay. So the things that I wanted to talk about, I want to start by talking about AOR. And gosh, I don't. Is this even a good idea to talk about in this video? Because who the fuck is gonna watch this? Nobody's gonna watch this. Ah, whatever. So, I'm pleased that people have been playing it, and some people have been enjoying it. But I think we got problems with this game. I think that it's not fun. Because I noticed myself not really enjoying playing it and not wanting to play it. And when you don't want to play your own game, that's kind of a problem. And a lot of the feedback originally from when it first came out was that it did feel like a chore. Now, I was trying to go for something that I don't think was right when I first released this, which is that I wanted it to sort of be an idle game as well. The core vision for Aegis of Rodan was a game where you explore, you find items, and you make decisions. It's sort of like a puzzle game where there's a certain end goal you're trying to reach, and you have a certain world that you need to learn about to figure out sort of how to reach that goal, and then the question is, how do you do that as efficiently as possible? So that's why there's a time limit to the game, and that's why there was that goal that was added eventually. You know, I just wanted it to be some sort of puzzle game, basically, where you'd find all these things, and you'd have to learn about all these things, and you have to learn about how the game works, and you have to learn where like everything is, and what all the locations do, and what they mean, and then you'd take all that information, and you'd formulate some kind of plan for getting to the end. without dying, and so I wanted that to be like kind of difficult so that it forced you to think and plan ahead. None of that is really happening in this game in the current state. And that's disappointing, but I think that we can fix it, because I think I know why the game just feels like such a chore right now. So, I mean, there aren't a lot of decisions to make, first of all, and there's not a lot of freedom, I guess, because a lot of the game is just you fighting for your survival. You tend to... It tends to just be very annoying to do anything. You know, if you want to mine stuff, it takes energy. You want to forage for stuff, it takes energy. And if you want to go places, it takes energy. And this entire time, you got to manage your spirits. You got to throw away all your materials in order to keep your explorers topped up. And so there was just so much of this gameplay where it was like slogging through this, because it doesn't feel like you're making really much progress as you're, you know, throwing all this shit into your explorers to just keep them alive. Like, there's those tools that they would take like 70, 80 energy at the top end to use. And so you need to have all this fruit, and it's like one fruit or one of those fish will recoup the cost of doing the tool one time. And I just felt like, man, this is really losing sight of what the game was originally about. It's not supposed to be some kind of Tamagotchi or whatever, where you just take care of this one, these fucking fluckers. You know, that's not what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be thinking about how you're going to use all of your items. But of course the answer is, well, you're gonna feed them to your hungry explorers. And then there's the other problem where you have all these artifacts pile up and you can't do anything with them, and I kind of tried to fix that by putting in that lore system. But, I don't know. It seems like people still ended up with an inventory full of artifacts, and it was just kind of silly. And then there was the whole thing about injuries as well, where you just couldn't leave anyone alone. You had to be constantly monitoring them, because they could trip and fall, and they pretty much die if you just have a bunch of stuff queued up and they fall. So there's no time for you to react to getting the injury. And then my very kind of half-assed solution was to just remove injuries from the game, kind of, and only put them in specific locations. All of this feels like it isn't working, and I think we need to totally redesign how this game works in order to make it actually fun. So I've been thinking about that. Like, what could this game look like that gets back down to these core values? Oh, and another thing I didn't mention is the waiting. Like, a holdover from when I wanted this game to be an idle game and then figured out that I didn't really know how to design an idle game is all the waiting. There's a lot of waiting still in AOR, and like I tried to get rid of some of it by reducing the time it takes to do things, but I think that's just a band-aid. Because you think, like, why do you have to wait at all in the game? There's no timer, and it's not like an RTS where you're racing against somebody else. So why are you waiting? I don't think there's any reason to be waiting, even if you're only waiting a couple seconds. I think that really just takes away from it. I mean, that's so much time that you're not making decisions, and you're not doing anything interesting. You're just sitting there waiting for stuff to happen. So I think a better design for this game would be one that, first of all, requires no waiting whatsoever, or just like a tiny little bit of waiting every now and again. But remove waiting from like the core equation of the game. So that would be one design goal. Another design goal would be to, make it so that decisions actually matter more. Like, you have more opportunity to actually decide what to do with items. And that sort of means it ties into a third design goal, which is like, get rid of the maintenance. Make it so that you're not constantly taking care of your explorers, and they're actually making progress. And I guess a fourth goal would be have a very just explicit measure of your progress in the game. Something like, I don't know, cookie clicker. using an idle game as an example when I probably shouldn't, but whatever. That game like has a very clear indication of progress. You have a number. You have two numbers actually. You have like the cookies in your bank and your cookies per second, and both of those numbers, the more they go up, the more progress you make. The game right now really does not have something like that. It doesn't have a very clear notion of progress. It has getting to the Tree of Roses, but then the tree has all these complicated requirements. And you could kind of work to each of those requirements, but it's not super clear. It's not very focused of a goal, I don't feel like. Maybe that's not the true issue, but I think that the game would be served by having a bit more of a clearer sort of indication of progress. And that's something I wanted to do with the lore counter, because my idea was like, okay, you've got to get enough lore to actually get to the Tree of Roses. But then getting there was really easy because people got way more lore than I was expecting. But yeah, I think really the major thing there is get rid of the waiting, and also get rid of all of the taking, just managing these fluffies and making sure they don't die. That part is really important, I think. So I've been thinking of an alternate universe AOR where there's no energy and there's no spirit. That's the first change. Right? There's no like you need to keep defiling stuff and you need to keep eating stuff in order to live. Like you can use these materials and these fruits not just to keep yourself going, but to actually give you progress, give you some kind of benefit, give you a tangible movement forward to a goal that you're trying to get to as quickly as possible. So that's one thing. The other thing is, what if you didn't have any of this? Like, what if the way that you interacted with the world was totally different? Rather than the game being sort of real time, and you click forage and then your explorer goes and forages. What if instead of that, it was turn-based? So you could think about it in terms of like days or something. And you could queue up basically what your explorer was going to do that day. So you have this much mining, this much foraging, or whatever. Ooh. Alright, well, we're done with this part. We still have more to go, of course, but yeah, like you have your day. At the start of your day, you specify what everybody does, and this would make it possible to have more explorers total. Like maybe you could have 11 or 12 total if you did something like this. Because right now, like 11 or 12 is way too much with the real time. But with something like this, maybe you could. So like at the start of the day, you decide what everybody does, and then at the end of the day, you receive all the products from all the work, basically. And that means you're being asked to make more decisions in that situation, because now it's sort of like, okay, your explorer, they have a limited number of things that they can do each day. So you've got to decide what it is specifically you want them to be doing, and you're presented with these choices kind of up front. So it just makes you think about them more, I feel. Because right now, you just kind of click on forage and mine until good stuff happens, basically, which is not really what I want to be the case. This would also make it a little bit easier to put a specific ending on the game, rather than having this weird threat system where every action you take increases it by 1. You could just have the game last X number of days, and then if you don't finish it in X number of days, you lose. Now that's interesting. That's more interesting, I feel, because you have a very obvious timeline for what's about to happen. Like, say your game is only 20 days long, and every single one of those days is going to feel much more important, I think. I'm kind of imagining this a little bit as just like an abstraction of what the energy and spirit system was supposed to be. Like, I want to make it feel like your explorers, they can only do so much, and maybe some explorers are better at it than others. So like you could have the cherry explorers, they don't have more energy, they just have more slots, they have more actions they can take each day, so they can do more stuff. I like having that. But the way the energy was working, it really just feel like you were fighting this uphill battle just to keep people alive. Another thing that makes this nice is that it's possible to actually do injuries with this in a way that doesn't suck, because you can have an explorer just get injured at the end of a day, and before you do anything else, right, you know it's going to happen. You know that's going to have effects in the next day. So you're already aware of it before you start choosing anything for that explorer to do. Like your explorer goes out, they do X number of things, they get injured, and then that injury just plays a part in your decisions for the next day, right? Rather than it being you just randomly get it and then you die if you weren't paying attention. So this kind of forces you to pay more attention. It also would eliminate all of the waiting, because you're making all the decisions, you click the button, all those decisions happen immediately, and then the next day is there and you can decide what to do with all the items you just got. So I think that that's a pretty cool idea. It's going to require pretty much the entire game and the entire UI to be changed to make that work. But I think that that's much, much closer to what I actually want out of it, and something that could be more, like, actually more fun. Maybe, it would turn into something like an actual turn-based strategy game, which I think is neat, and it solves a lot of other problems. Now, of course, the question that comes to me when I think about this is, what happens to fruit? What happens to food? Because if we're not dealing with energy or something anymore, because instead of an energy system we have this turn-based system where you're limited not by how much energy you have, but rather by how many actions you take a turn. What happens to fruit? Like, what's the use of food in this alternate reality AOR? And I don't know, like, the knee-jerk reaction is like, oh, of course, maybe you just have to feed them in order to make it possible for them to do actions. But I don't like that. I think that's getting back to the same problem that we're having originally, where there's all this stuff that's gating you from making progress. And you just have to, like, take care of it. And that wasn't much fun. Now, maybe in this different universe it would be more fun, but this stuff where you just have to feed your flunkies out of obligation in order for them to do anything. I think that was unfun, and I don't like that. So then I was thinking, well, could fruit maybe just give you permanent bonuses if you eat them? So like you are encouraged to eat them, but if you don't eat them at all, it's not stopping you from doing anything. You can decide to go completely fruitless. And the fruit that you do eat is just going to give you some kind of very small permanent bonus or something. And then maybe you have like RPG stats or whatever, that each of the fruits will improve a tiny amount. But that's maybe getting into the weeds and the details a little bit too much. I'm just proposing that, like, man, it did not feel very fun to have to constantly take care of your explorers and, like, not make any other decisions. That didn't feel like much fun, because you'd start a game and you'd be like, I want to go and try making the, like, most OP explorer possible. I wanted to do that at one point, but I just couldn't bring myself to, because it was too annoying to have to travel places with all the energy and the spirit it takes. And then, like, it's yeah, I don't know. So I'm explaining this very poorly. This probably should have been written down somewhere, but whatever, fuck it. Somebody will watch this, I'm sure. At least one of you will. But that's just my vision for what a different AOR could look like, and I just wanted to share that because I think I value the transparency and the decision, and I think that you would appreciate knowing what I'm thinking about. And I'm definitely interested to hear what people have to think about that. I think that the only way that we're going to be able to determine if it's a workable idea or not is to actually do it, but it wouldn't hurt to hear what you all have to say. So, for the one person who watches this, can you just like make a Cliff Note summary of everything I just said and put it like in the Discord? I don't know, something. I'm too fucking lazy to do anything myself. Wow, the resolution is already fit for the monitor. That's probably going to make it impossible to read. But you're not really missing much. Alright, well, by tradition, we always call the new user Ramal. And A is my password. A. Were you allowed to just do that? Okay, what picture should we use? Why am I not just using the mouse for this? I like this picture a lot. That one's my favorite out of defaults. There's also this one. That one's pretty cool. It reminds me of the XP one, but I like this one the most. Okay, so there's our... I could have just put in no password, I just realized. Not really. That's fine. Let's go with that desktop, I guess. The bamboo leaf. That shit's looking like some lakeside, maybe. I was gonna say clearstone. It's orange enough to be clearstone, but it's a little bit too much alive. That's some rockthorn. Let's go with that one. Definitely don't install any updates, because fuck that shit. Alright, well. We've done it. We put Windows Vista Ultimate on here, so that's nice. Now this is a 0 service pack thing. There's no service pack on this. You can really hear the Dell struggling just to load this desktop. I don't know if we're going to get Aero on this, but the installation only took like 20 minutes, so I think we're going to try to get Aero working on here. And you're going to see what it takes. If this is not something you do often, which I'm going to bet that it's not, if you remember what it was like to set up computers back in the day... Oh shit, that's right, we're not even done installing. We got to do this part now. Wow, it's a little laggy. It's a little laggy. Yeah. Okay, well, I think that probably concludes all my thoughts on AOR. It's just, I want to try all of that, and it's going to be a little bit awkward because it's going to require so much change to how the game actually works. And one other thing I was thinking of with that is you could have your day cycle, right? But then rather than like you like specify what happens for the day, and then you click next day or whatever, and it just goes on to the next day. Well, there was sort of like there's a work period and there's like a fun period, right? Where like you explorers do all the work, and then after that they sit down and they have dinner and they eat all their food or whatever, or they do something else. But basically, like, there's 2 phases to a day, so you're not like just constantly making the same kinds of decisions over and over again and get fatigued from that. There's like a cycle where it goes like day activities, night activities, day activities, night activities. I think that could be fun too. But all right, that's all my thoughts on that. The only other thing related to doughbyte that I want to mention is that the story. So obviously I can only work on one thing at a time. I wish I could work on all of the things at a time. I was pretty focused on AOR for a while. I don't want to forget about the regular doughbyte story and just stop writing that. We are getting close to the end of it though. So I'm not expecting there to be that many more chapters. I think we're on chapter 17 or something, or 18, and I feel like 20 chapters is a good stopping point for the story, because we're wrapping stuff up. But given the rate that I've been working on that might not be done for another year or 2 years or something, I don't know. And I might just give up on it entirely. Who knows how much longer I'm even going to be alive. I don't know. The other thing is, Atoll, I really want to get back to that and sort of finish it. I've been thinking about that a lot. And something that's a little bit frustrating about it is every time I go back to work on Atoll, I kind of I think about how um, the little things about it that really frustrate me. Before I talk any more about this, we're gonna have to get this started. So let's log in here. I want to get the service packs on this so that we can install some drivers. And oh, this thing is not going to be internet connected, but we need to start installing service packs on this, because this is a 0 service pack disk, and there's 3 of them or something for Windows Vista. Oh, we don't have audio either, so you're not going to be able to hear anything. But look at that desktop. Yeah, so no arrow, of course, and already it's not doing great. Windows Ultimate Extras, there's like Texas Hold'em Poker on there. So here's some trivia for you. You know, the card games that are included, we have Hearts on here, right? Yes. Let's see how Hearts performs. Of course, we need the video drivers. It's doing okay. It's doing alright. I think I can put my hacked card games in here, but it doesn't. The Vista one doesn't look quite as good as the 7 one, because notice all the cards here are very packed in together. We'll play with that later. So we need to start getting service packs installed, and this is going to be it's going to be an annoying process because this isn't connected to the internet. So what I'm going to have to do is just move shit over via this USB. So let's safely remove that hardware, and we'll start getting service packs. And this looks the exact same as it did in Windows 2000. That's really funny. Alright, beep. Yeah, we got no audio whatsoever. Okay. So, it's going to be the just musical chairs process, plugging that thing out, plugging it back into the main computer. Oh, fuck. Hold on, I gotta get this a little bit closer to me. Good enough. Let's plug it in. Let's get service pack. I think we have to do them incrementally. Like there's no just roll up of all 3 of them. My only goal for this video is by the end of it, I want to have Arrow and I want to have the Yak deck loaded on here. I don't know how long that's gonna take, but we're gonna sit here, and you're gonna sit here until we're done with that. Okay, we've got the USB in. Let's go for Service Pack 3, Windows Vista. Was there even a... Were there only 2? I think there actually were only 2. Let's see. We're going to get Service Pack 1 first. I think you have to do them incrementally, and I think it's just more fun to do it like this. Okay. Download this to Service Pack 1. Ah, an ISO. No, I know I can get an executable for this. Fucking, okay, the Microsoft download site, why does it do this, where it puts like a redirect in your history so you can't go back? It's very annoying. Alright, yeah, I think we gotta download the exe from... What the fuck is that? What? What? Okay, I need to take the webcam off and show this. Just what? I look up Vista Service Pack 1, I get this video. What the fuck is this? What? Okay. Oh, I'm gonna have to edit that out of the video. I think I just showed myself. Wow. Okay. Let's just reset that one. I might okay, that's dumb. I might just edit that all out of the video. I'm not gonna edit shit out of this video. What am I talking about? I'm not editing anything. I'm too lazy. Now let's get this fucking thing off cnet.com. Download.cnet. Yeah, I'm sure this is gonna work just fine. And let's get Service Pack 2 while we're at it here. Oh, okay, we can get this one from the update catalog. Oh wait, no we can't. Oh yeah, yes we can. Yes, download that shit. Oh, the Microsoft update catalog, let me tell you, that shit's based as fuck. Because it actually works. Alright. Let's just paste that shit in. USB is going to have all the stuff from the setup on it, but that's alright. That's alright. Windows Vista, also known as Windows 6. Because we can go to WinVer. It's version 6. Wow, that's straight up okay. Build 6000. And we do have a gig on here. That's nice. So, I don't know if this is like the earliest RTM build, or perhaps just earliest publicly available build of Windows Vista ever, but that'd be pretty cool if it was. That'd be neat. Okay, we're copying this shit over. It will be but a moment. Yeah, so about, while we're doing this, about Atoll. Atoll's really cool, and I want to finish it, and by finish it really I just mean finish the Learn It document, right? To have all the stuff about phrases in it, so that somebody could actually conceivably learn this, potentially. And it's really going to be a lifelong endeavor to fill out the dictionary. It just never ends, the amount of stuff you have to put in. It's like, there's so much stuff in it already, but it's so incomplete. Dictionaries are quite large things, as it turns out. So I want to... There's no point at which I could probably call the dictionary done. It's just too long. So it's just going to be continually working on that. But I at least want to get through the Learn It document. And that's more challenging than it sounds, because I found that it's really not possible to just finish it, because I keep thinking of ways that the language could be better and finding sentences where I can't quite translate it. And I need to introduce some other construct in order to do it properly. And that's one thing that's very unfortunate about, for instance, the Atoll samples, because the samples I think are cool. They're really, really interesting, and they give people who actually really want to learn the language like a really solid understanding of how it works. But it's becoming so difficult to maintain that samples thing. First of all, translating is really hard. That's got to get, I feel like, a little bit easier before I do more of them. But as I make these, as I make the samples, they keep needing to be changed. And right now, the samples, I'm not even certain that they're correct at all, really. So, I don't know, I feel like I'm just gonna go ahead and, for now, just get rid of... Oh shit, that's an X60... Fuck. Damn it! I got a 64-bit version. Yeah, Pentium 4s do not run 64-bit Windows Vista. So I gotta get the different... Thanks, CNET. Thanks for that. That's totally your fault and not my fault. I didn't do shit. My baby didn't do a goddamn thing. So let's specify Service Pack x86. Get it from Microsoft. Oh, but they always give it to you as an ISO. I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't know what I could do with an ISO. I need to burn it. I don't want to burn it. Just stop giving me ISOs. I gotta go to www.uwindows. Oh, it's on Internet Archive. There we go. Damn, that's an ISO too. Fuck. Come on. Alright. Alright. Okay, here we go. I gotta get this USB out. Actually, we can do it better if we go here and we eject. Yay. Alright. So, just to finish the thoughts on Atoll, I'm probably going to get rid of the samples thing entirely until this language gets much more fleshed out. I don't know when the hell that's going to happen, because it seems like it's just a never-ending struggle to get the language to, like, work correctly. The basics are there. They've been there for a long time. But there are plenty of things it still can't do, and I'm always finding them, and it seems like it never ends. And like I don't know, the language is not modular enough, or it doesn't have enough constructs, or it's too limited in grammar to express a lot of things I want it to. So, you know, it's difficult. As it turns out, designing a language is difficult, especially when you've never done it before. So I had some difficulties, but that's fine. We'll work through them. And eventually that Learn It document will be complete, and whenever that Learn It document is complete, I think that's when the language is done. And will I ever go back and like make an actual samples thing or translate a bunch of records? Probably not, just given how annoying and difficult that is. Maybe it'll get to a point where it's not annoying and difficult, but the problem with it being, it's not like super hard, but you do these translations to get a better feel of the language, and then it's like you put all this work in and you can't really show it to anyone, and which is kind of why I made the samples thing, because I wanted to have all my like translating work that I used to get a feel for the language and get comfortable with it. I wanted that to be useful in some way. But it kind of isn't. Like, if you translate a bunch of stuff, and then you, in the process of translating that stuff, you, like, learn a bunch and change a bunch about the language, it's like, that's not work that you can really directly translate to something that you can share with people. And that's, for me, that's a problem, because if I work really hard on something, or even not that hard, if I work on something at all, I kind of want to show it to people. And not being able to do that is frustrating for me. Yeah. Anything else on doughbyte? No, the only other things are like the yock.scr, which is obviously not getting any more updates unless somebody wants to do it themselves. The yock deck is not going to get any more updates, although that's still, I think, funny enough, that's probably my favorite thing that's on the site, even though it was the easiest to make out of all the sub-projects, probably. And the wiki, you know, I don't really have any control over what happens in the wiki, but I do wish that it was used more. I don't think that it's a great idea to go over every single record and like write what happens in that record. I think that that's how you get burnt out on writing for the wiki. So I feel like you should stop doing that. I think that the most fun thing to do would be to just write like character profiles and stuff. Like write a synopsis of what a character does in the story. Like write a fucking meal page or a Lotus page or something, because then that can be filled with like what you guys did with the Wanderer, right? And Nixum. That was a fun page. Why don't we just do more of that? That sounds like fun. But I can't tell you what to do, and I can't control that. The most I can do is just continue to host it. Because I think that even though it barely gets used, I think it's still valuable to have it there. Okay, let's plug this back in. Well, now that we've exhausted pretty much all the doughbyte topics of discussion, what do we talk about now? I don't know, we can talk about Windows Vista. What? Uh-oh. Did I fuck something up? Well, let's see if we did or not. I don't think that's supposed to look like that. Did I do something wrong? Did I like forget to eject it? Oh boy. Well, this might be corrupt, but that's half the fun. Let's run it. And I don't know why it has all this huge hex string at the end, because that's not in the original file name that I copied over. It's running. Yeah, like, it's a fucking Windows update. Oh. What? Oh yeah, that is Service Pack 2. Never mind. That's not even the one that I want. Never mind. I'm stupid. I'm dummy. It's fine. That was Service Pack 2. I was trying to put Service Pack 1 on. We're at the 45-minute mark already. This thing installed Vista a little faster than I expected. That's for sure. And I'm glad to actually be using this computer for something. This is the computer that we did the boot vid thing on, if you remember that. I don't know why I'm saying we. Because I did it. It was me. But yeah. I think one of the reasons that I'm even making this video, and that I don't immediately see it for the horrible idea that it is, to just have a fucking webcam pointed at a computer screen and install Vista and install service packs on it, is because there are other channels out there, like, there's Draga1 and there's Michael MJD, who do this. Their videos are basically just this, especially Draga1. He's got like 3-hour videos where all he does is like set up a fucking Mac. And honestly, I find those extremely entertaining, and I love putting them on as background noise when I'm doing other things. I've definitely listened to a fair few of those while drawing. And then there's the Ampdan ones, where they're like 2 hours long, 3 hours long videos of just doing nothing, like installing a virtual machine in another virtual machine. And I find it incredibly entertaining. Maybe not to just outright watch, but to have in the background, which is why this is the Windows Vista installation to kick back and smoke a joint to. Like, you're probably not actually watching this. There's also something I really enjoy about the aesthetic of a bad camera pointed at a screen that's running an old version of Windows on it. Those all come together, like all those elements really come together. And like once we get Arrow on this thing, it's gonna. Oh, the other thing we should do, we gotta get yock.scr on here, of course. Wait, it doesn't work. Or does it? No, it does work because yeah, I had Vista on here. Was this the computer? Was this the same computer I used for that video? I don't think it was. I think I was using the HP for that one. Which this thing? I'm watching OBS like the volume just max out when I do that. Oh, this thing right here slaps top of Dell. This bad boy can fit so many gigabytes in it. This is taking a while. It says an hour or more. I don't believe that. I think it will probably finish faster than an hour. But we've got time. We've got time to kill. So we're installing this because why not? And also because I think in order to get drivers, we're going to want SP2. Yeah, we're going to want SP2 if we're going to get drivers. And speaking of drivers, maybe I should look for those. Do any exist? I don't know. Do we even know what graphics are on here? Watch me navigate Vista like the pro who I am. One. Did it already do it? Like, did it already do the experience index? Oh wow, we're 1.0ing on the graphics. God, oh man, I really hope we can get Arrow on this. I mean, at least we got it installed. It seems to be running okay-ish without Arrow. I don't know. Maybe we can do it already? Maybe we can already put it on? That's not where you do it. You do it through here, personalize. Window color and appearance. Damn. Yeah, we don't got Arrow. I think this is where you would enable it if you had it. But screensaver, bubbles are on here. I don't think we can actually play some of these because we don't have direct 3D going on or whatever it needs. Oh, we can. What? But it blacks out the screen? No options. It's not supposed to block out the screen, is it? Maybe it just, we can't do it. Well, I want to say this bubbles thing, I should like I should emulate this or something on doughbyte, because I like this effect where you get the bubbles, they spew out of the bottom left, they bounce around, they collide with each other, they change color like this. I should really put this on the site somewhere. Like I should make a recreation of this. That sounds like a lot of fun. Oh man. Well, me getting ideas. But I remember seeing this in a computer store and like begging to my dad, can we please upgrade our home computer to Windows Vista so that we can use this? Because I was just fucking flabbergasted by this thing's existence of these bubbles, and they look so colorful and pretty. And that reminds me of an art that I wanted to do. Well, look out on doughbyte in the near future. You may see a recreation of this effect, maybe. I don't know. That sounds like fun. I thought it was supposed to not be black in the background, though, but I imagine that maybe that'll change when we get the service packs, because this is a very early version. Windows Energy, what is this? Oh, this is one that's actually complaining about not having Direct 3D. Maybe when we get Direct 3D. Is this shitty integrated graphics compatible with Direct 3D? Who knows? I don't know. Let's see if we can get a better idea of what's actually in here. That's probably just gonna say fucking unknown VGA adapter. I'm gonna have to fucking figure it out myself. But there is actually a card in here. It's not integrated. Although the spec sheet says that it's integrated. I think that this actually does have a card. And it's some kind of AGP card, so it's probably gonna die any day now. Or at least that's what Matt KC told me, is that AGP is unreliable. I don't know myself. Let's see. Display adapters. Hey! Alright, well we have the actual name here. which means it should be possible to find a driver for that. So let's try to look. Of course, we're going to install both the service packs before we do that. GeForce 4 MX440 Windows Vista driver. There are as many old drivers out there on the internet as there are old drivers that are actually malware. I'm going to take a drink. So we've got driverscape.com as the very first result, which I guess has been okay. Wait, I've never had success with this website. But they are offering one here that does look like it supports Windows Vista, released in 2009. It's a little recent. But maybe it'll work. I don't know. I need to reclaim the USB from this computer before I really fuck with this. How is our Windows update going? Alright, yeah, it's going fine. Now we could try to get the internet going, which I might do. Because we can get like an old version of Firefox. Actually, I should be able to... see, I could take the USB out because this should just be running from memory at this point, but I don't know if it self-extracted anything here. It doesn't look like it did, but could be hidden files. I'm just gonna leave it in. We'll take it out before we install Service Pack 2. I'll copy the Service Pack 2 executable onto the disk. So we could try to get internet. Oh, we're gonna need internet actually. Well, okay, not need, but it's gonna be helpful if we have internet. Don't do this. Don't try this at home and all. You know, don't connect like old ass versions of Windows to the internet at home. I'm a professional idiot, and by professional idiot, all I mean is that I don't know what I'm doing, but I don't care. Chances are that you actually do care. So if you care, don't do what I'm doing. Right. Good. I don't actually think it's that risky, but it's better to just not take the risk because you don't need to. I really hope that I can actually record all this video. I don't know if I have enough disk space for it. Let's take a look at this PC. Oh dear God. Well, what the fuck is this? Why do I have a 200 gigabyte volume? What is this? Oh, that must be my Linux. No, it's not. It can't be. What the fuck is on here? Oh, this is the fucking Windows 7 install doesn't work. So story time. Quick story time. Right after Windows Vista comes Windows 7. Windows 7 was released in 2009, I think. And slowly I'm kind of, an apocalypse is slowly traveling towards me. Because I actually still use Windows 7 because for the sole reason that I think it's pretty and that's it. Also, I think it's less annoying than Windows 10. That helps, but really the main reason is it's just very pretty. I love it. The way that it looks, the way that it feels. It's very deeply nostalgic for me, of course, because I'm a little idiot baby. But I like it, so I still use it. Now, I don't use it on my main computer, though. So a while back, I was upgrading the power supply in my computer, and I burnt the drives because I used the wrong cables for that. for the power supply. Now, after that happened, I kind of had the opportunity to sort of, reset up the whole thing, because the drives, they got pretty toasty. So I got new ones, and I had an opportunity to sort of restart. And I wondered, how easy would it be? And this is a computer with, this is a very modern computer. It's got like a Ryzen in there. I don't know fucking hardware, but it's one of those 12-core Ryzens, 24-thread Ryzens. And a pretty decently modern motherboard. It's like an AS Rock, whatever the fuck, I don't even know. Some modern-ish motherboard. And it's like, can you even install Windows 7 on this? And I was surprised by the answer, because the answer is actually yes. But it's not easy. It's possible, it's not easy. The interesting thing about installing Windows 7 on a modern computer is that the USB doesn't work, and that's like the only thing that doesn't work. Which is so weird to me. It's incomprehensible why having a more modern processor and motherboard, I guess. It's like the only thing that breaks is USB. Why? I don't know. But what that effectively means is you can't install it because, and even if you could install it, you couldn't use it because your keyboard and mouse don't work. And there's a solution which is like, oh, just, it works in PS2. So if you have a PS2 mouse and keyboard, it'll work just fine. But there's no PS2 port on a modern motherboard. They don't have that. Now you can get cards that extend it, but what if you don't want to do that? Or what if you, are running your Windows 7 in a dual boot situation, which I wanted to do, where you don't want to use your fucking PS2 keyboard for everything, because the PS2 keyboard is shit. You want to use your nice fancy mechanical USB keyboards. So I guess technically you could get some kind of card that converts PS2 to USB and then put in your USB stuff. But it's so silly, and I wanted to see if it was possible to do it without that. And it is, kind of. What you can do, and some motherboard manufacturers actually designed this software. They actually distribute this. They will distribute software which you can use to flash a Windows 7, install Medium to a USB, and inject drivers, USB drivers that will work with the modern motherboard and the modern processor. That will allow you to actually install it. And then from there you can, actually get better drivers from the internet or whatever. But they actually provide you with software that will inject drivers for the motherboard so that you can do a Windows 7 install, which I think is crazy. It's so insane to me that they would actually create this software as if people are still installing Windows 7 enough that they actually have a team of people make this. Who asked for this? How many people are out there actually doing this? And how is that a big enough percentage that you sink development time into making a tool like that? It's ridiculous to me. But anyways, I was actually able to get it to work. Now, of course, once you do this and you install a bunch of updates in Windows 7, it starts freaking the fuck out because Microsoft starts phoning to it. It starts phoning home to Microsoft, and Microsoft starts telling it, you're running on an unsupported processor, and so it starts getting really annoying. It'll just bug you all the time. It will not leave you alone about upgrading to Windows 10 and, throwing out your computer or whatever that they want you to do. So it's kind of not a great experience, but you can get it to work. Until I started noticing on that computer that the new drives that I got would start popping in and out occasionally. They would just occasionally start disappearing. Now, me and my infinite fucking wisdom was like, oh man, I don't know if maybe the motherboard got damaged when those drives were fried, so I'm just going to replace the motherboard with a new one. That wasn't the problem, it turns out. It turns out that the drives themselves, the brand new drives from Samsung, were faulty. The Evo like 850s and 870s or whatever the number is, they were just faulty. The brand new ones were just faulty. It took forever to figure that out, and in the meantime I replaced the motherboard. And the slightly newer motherboard fucked up everything. Like, the USB drivers no longer worked, and I couldn't find any that worked. And there were a bunch of people, or there's this one guy online, when you search like how to get Windows 7 to work with a ASRock, whatever the fuck motherboard that I have, or Gigabyte, whatever the fuck thing I have, I don't know. But you can look up a video and you can get somebody talking about this. Like, here's what you have to do to get Windows 7 to work on this motherboard. And they're like, download these crusty-ass Russian beta drivers and run them on your machine. And, you know, they just caused my machine to crash. So, they didn't work. So there I was, faced with a computer that could no longer run Windows 7, and also having the option to, what do I want to say? The option to take the old motherboard and put it back in, right? Swap the motherboards out. But I had already, like, every single time I touch this computer, it seems like something goes wrong. So I'm just like, fuck it. I'm not, like, it works. It can run Arch Linux and it can run Windows 10. Like, fuck it. No, we're not going to go down any more hardware rabbit holes to try to get Windows 7 to work. I just have to live with this. That's an important skill to learn, to just live with it. Because sometimes it's not worth it. It is often not worth it with software to try to fix some problem you're having. Very often not worth it. So what I decided to do was just get a different computer. So we have in our house an older computer that was running Windows 7 at one point. And so I decided to steal it and use it for myself. And now I use it. So that thing is like, I don't know, 9 or 10 years old. It was a custom build that's like 9 or 10 years old. I don't know what kind of it's got some Intel processor in it. I don't fucking hardware. I don't do that. 16 gigabytes of RAM or something. That's kind of a lot for 10 years ago, of course. Or maybe it only has 8. I actually think it only has 8. That's still a lot for 10 years ago, I think. But anyway, I just like have a different computer now. So I own 2 computers and I use 2 computers regularly. One of them is it's the work machine. It's the battle station. It's where I have my Linux set up and my Windows 10 every once in a while when I need it. And also the broken Windows 7 install is still on there, where I do all my actual work, like development and all the other stupid shit that I do. And then I have the other computer, which runs Windows 7. And what do I do with Windows 7 on it? Well, since Windows 7 is a beautiful machine, a beautiful operating system, I do art on it. Because guess what? The Wacom drivers work on Windows 7, and Krita works on Windows 7. And also a lot of other stuff you wouldn't expect to work on Windows 7 works. Like the most recent version of Firefox still works on Windows 7. Discord still works on Windows 7. Steam, for now, still works on Windows 7. They're going to take that from me, which is why I'm scared. There's an apocalypse on the horizon. Steam is going to drop support for Windows 7. I'm sure other stuff is too. What happens when my tablet drivers stop working? Well, those are probably going to be okay. But what happens when Krita stops getting Windows 7 support? Because I'm sure that they don't like supporting that. I mean, already we lost AOR support for Windows 7. That wasn't even my intention. Something just happened in between AOR 1 and AOR 2, right? The 2 betas. Something happened in between those two where it no longer works on Windows 7. Things are going to stop working on Windows 7. And it feels like the universe is conspiring to take this beautiful thing away from me. And, like, that's not what it is at all. Like, I sympathize, trust me, with developers who do not want to support Windows 7. Supporting weird old operating systems, even though this one isn't that weird and isn't that old, but supporting operating systems at all, such a pain in the ass. I'm sure Windows 7 is a fucking horrible nightmare to work with. But man, it just sucks that I can't have this forever. And eventually, one of these days, like Windows XP has gotten to the point, for instance, where, and even Windows Vista, Windows Vista has gotten to a point where if you want to like do work on it, it's hard. It's going to put up a lot of resistance, and it's not going to be a good time. For Windows 7, excuse me. I think Billy just possessed me for a little bit. Anyway, with Windows 7, you can still realistically do stuff. Like Krita works, GIMP works, Firefox works. Really, you only need a web browser. Really. So, what more do you need, right? You can install your Office suite, and you have like a shell, you have command prompt. All this stuff works. In Windows Vista, I don't think that any of those, aside from like command prompt, like you can't have Firefox, I'm sure. You can't have GIMP and Krita, I'm sure. You can't have AOR. That doesn't work. You can have the Yakin screensaver, I suppose. But, oh wait, we're not going to be able to use the Yakin screensaver because it's 64-bit only. Fuck. Oh no, that's, that really ruins my day. I really wanted to get an x86 build of yoke.scr to work, but I couldn't. Every time I tried to compile it in Visual Studio, which I did on Windows 7, by the way. I wrote it and developed it on Windows 7. So I know it works for that, but I could not get a 32-bit version to work. Every time I tried to compile it, it would tell me that the compiler ran out of heap. It ran out of heap memory. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? It ran out of heap memory. What are you trying to do? It compiles fine under x64. We're running on a machine with 8 gigabytes of RAM. You have like 4 free gigs of RAM. This is not a complicated application. What the fuck? And when I look at the task manager, you can see it when it's compiling, that bar or that graph going up, right? It goes up. The memory just increases. What the fuck is it doing? Why does it need all that memory? And I looked on the internet and the Microsoft technical support boards where they get, trained Visual Studio experts to tell you how much of a dipshit you are. And they were like, well, just put in these compiler flags to make it limit the amount of heap that it uses. And then I put those compiler flags in, and then it doesn't work. Like it says this compiler flag is not recognized. Huh? Long story short, I couldn't compile a 32-bit version of yak.scr, and I really wanted to. And now it's biting me in the ass, because now I can't do it. I'm trying to think, is there some kind of compatibility layer out there that will let you run an x64 application under x86? Like if there's a emulation or I don't know. I feel like it should be possible to emulate x64 on x86, but on a Pentium 4, that's gonna suck. Well, I guess we just don't get illegal Yakis today. Shit. That really sucks. That's unfortunate. Maybe one thing we should try to do. Well, we can get the Yak deck at least. I was almost gonna say maybe we should try to get a fucking virtual machine running on here. That's another thing that works under Windows 7 still. VirtualBox still works. I'm certain that it doesn't on Vista. How much longer is it gonna work on Windows 7? Who knows? Probably not that long. So one of these days, and it's coming. Like Steam, it's coming. It's leaving actually. More specifically, it's running out the door. Like that. Windows 7, Steam losing support for Windows 7 is on the radar. It's just a slippery slope from there. I'm amazed. I guess I should say also that I'm just completely amazed that a lot of this stuff still supports Windows 7. Like Discord supports Windows 7? What? Discord is like for gamers. How many fucking gamers are on Windows 7? None. There's 0 of them. What are the numbers on Steam? It's like, what, Windows 7 makes up 1.9% or something? 70% of all statistics are pulled directly out out of your ass. But I don't know, it's something like 1 or 2% Windows 7 market share on Steam. But yeah, when's it gonna happen? When am I gonna be able to stop using all this shit on Windows 7? I don't know. I also have kind of like a Windows 7 time capsule because this is not something new to me, right? I've done this before where I have another machine that I basically just do art on that runs Windows 7. I did that before way back in the day with this extra shitty HP that I still have. Well, it's restarting. And that thing, while I have wiped it and replaced it, I did keep the... Oh shit, where's the image? Did I lose the image in the hard drive crash? I hope I didn't lose the images for that thing, because that was a time capsule. It had an old version of Discord that I used to log in to Sampling Police from and like sneak around in SSB with. So I had that computer and I did art on that. And that's all way back in the day, like 2016, when I used a mouse to draw. So there's also some super old art on there. All that's of course going to be classified. That can't be leaked into the public. But yeah, that thing's a time capsule. It's got ancient versions of Discord on it. It's got ancient versions of like VeraCrypt and stuff on it. And I remember booting that one up to take a look at it, and like the Discord logo on it, like it was not connected to the internet. Discord was trying to update, but it couldn't because it's not connected to the internet. And what the fuck is this? Oh my god, it's the it's USB. I'm just gonna let it do its thing, I guess, because why not? Let's see. Did it... It sounded like it was fixing problems, so that's good, I guess. I'm surprised it went so quickly. Unless it's not done. Yeah, I really hope I have those images somewhere, because I since wiped the computer, but I backed up an image of the drive, which has all of this like old shit on it. And I don't know, when I booted it up and I saw that like Discord is updating thing pop up, and then I saw like the old Discord logo, the one that was square and had like a gradient in it. It was, I don't know what to say. Like, man, that brought me back. I wonder what would happen to the Discord client if it tried to connect to Discord servers today. I mean, it would update, but what if we like bypass that update somehow? It wouldn't work. It's probably the it would probably just white screen of shame, I imagine, something similar. And everyone will complain about Discord being an Electron app and shit, but it runs fine. I don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't run fine. Oh my god. This is taking forever. Other things that took forever. When I was first developing AOR, I did it on that HP, the one I was talking about. That's a time capsule that I used to use for art. I built Qt on that machine, and it took fucking ages. It probably took a couple days just to build it. And then you realize that you needed to tweak 1 or 2 configuration parameters, and so you rebuild it. So I'm happy with how much faster computers have gotten, definitely. And this is bringing me back a little bit. It's reminding me of building Qt on that HP machine, with how long some of this stuff is taking. Maybe an hour or more is accurate. It's been over 30 minutes to install this one service pack, and we gotta install another one too after this. So I hope you're strapped in. If you're still watching this, you're probably passed out. It's the only explanation I can give. No sane person is gonna watch this entire thing. This isn't like Strats and Read where it's actually fun. Like, this is probably just pain for other people to experience. It's like, you know how they say in a conversation, everybody's just waiting until they can speak? You, you can't speak in this conversation. Like, you're stuck. I'm the one with the conch. Forever. And I'm not interesting to listen to. So I guess you can't consider this entire thing a shitpost. I don't know. I'm having fun. Because I get to just talk. And I don't get to do that very often. Nobody's listening to it, but it's still nice. My throat's going to be really sore, though. It always gets extremely sore after talking for a while. That's just a sacrifice you gotta make. Maybe as a reward for getting this far, I can throw in some Yodis, but I don't know if Yodis is even going to show up at all on this thing. I had to tweak the settings on this webcam so much to get it to actually pick up anything. Well, to make anything readable. So you notice, it's not pitch black in this room right now. On the webcam, it looks like I'm in a lightless cavern. The lights are on, right? It's just, I had to turn the exposure and the gain and the brightness way down so that you could actually have a chance at reading some of the text on the screen. Of course, I think that you're not going to be able to read any of the text anyway because this webcam is garbage. But, there you go. You have at least a shot of doing it, I guess. Now I'm really hoping that the low quality of the webcam combined with the 30 FPS frame rate and the low audio quality is going to make it so that this video is not like 50 terabytes large. Hopefully it isn't. I would like to actually be able to publish this. Even though I did just say I don't really care if anyone listens to it. That's interesting. I don't know. I guess it's just nice that it exists somewhere. I did say some things that I actually do want people to hear at the beginning, but now we're just kind of into no man's land. I guess if nothing else, I am recording under MKV, right? So I can still recover the first, like, couple, yeah. So I'm going to be able to, if this whole thing goes to shit, I'll still be able to recover the beginning. Which is nice. Hey, maybe when we get Arrow and everything, and we do some of the, like, Yuck Deck stuff, maybe I can do some drawings of what I think the AOR interface would look like. Some more ideas, some more AOR ideas. Maybe we could just draw Yakin. What if we could get Krita in this thing, and then I draw with the mouse? Or GIMP at least? Because I used to draw with GIMP. That would be kind of fun. I don't know if I'll have energy for that after this, because I think we still got quite a ways to go in order to get this thing fully set up, I imagine. I mean, it's going to be like, the big one is installing the second service pack, which I don't know if we actually have to do, but I'm committed, so we're going to do it. I have plenty to talk about. If you're curious how this setup is working, by the way, maybe I don't want to have to like edit a fucking screenshot in here, but I'm off to the left. The monitor is, let's see here, hand reveal. See? I've got a monitor right here. That's my finger. You can barely see it and how dark it is. But I've got a monitor that is, I've got a second monitor pointing at this monitor so that I could adjust the webcam. The webcam really is my only choice for recording, which is a good choice because I like the shitty quality. But it's my only choice. I don't have any other camera that I could use, and my phone is not going to live through like 2 hours of recording. It simply is not. That's not gonna work. It's already bugging me that I need to fucking move all my shit to iCloud or else it's gonna kill me or whatever. It's like, oh, your phone is filling up. Send all your shit to iCloud. The solution is not to delete your old crap that you don't want anymore. No, no. And the solution is not to clear out the, 25 gigabytes of mystery meat storage space that just gets taken up by fucking whatever, system logs? Who knows? The solution is to take all your shit and move it to iCloud. That's the solution, because you have to pay for that. And that's what we like. At Apple is we like money. So there you go. I have plenty to talk about, he says. I don't have much to talk about, actually. At this point, I don't know. I could mention that I've been interested in making a video, another sort of non-schizophrenic video that's not really a shitpost. I've been thinking about several kinds of videos that I could make, actually. The problem with these videos is that they will require effort. That's hard. I mean, something like this does not require effort. Something like those shitposts that I make from time to time, those never take more than a day to make, right? I get the footage, and then I sit there for like 3 or 4 hours, however long I can stand, and just edit it. Like the last video, the hat video, you could probably tell that it was ending way earlier than it should have. I couldn't do it. It takes so much endurance to get through editing that shit. Your ears hurt after a while. The jokes just stop being funny. I think that's probably the biggest one. Where it's only funny so many times to grab a random image from Google Images, save it with 30% JPEG compression, and flash it on the screen for a little bit. And plus, I think it would be more fun with an actual piece of editing software, but I added all this shit in Blender because I know how to use it, and I don't feel like going through whatever it would take to pirate the Adobe shit. I just don't care. I don't think it would even run on Linux. That's another thing. So I use Blender to edit this. Blender's great. Like, it's a fucking miracle piece of software that even exists. And I bet that probably at least some of you didn't know that it could be used for video editing. But oh yeah, it's got a full-featured video editor in there with a timeline and everything. But first of all, it's really slow to export videos, which is something that Strats can tell you a lot about. And it does not support that much. I called it fully featured. Really, it's just got the basics. The most that you can do that I found that's funny is you can stretch the videos, you can squash the videos, you can increase the volume on the audio clips, you can crop the videos, you can speed up and slow down the videos. And you can do all of those things with keyframes, so you can kind of control how they change over time. That's about it. Like, if you want to do anything else, you kind of can't. Now, that's plenty for me, but even then, the interface you have to do these things is super clunky. Especially with keyframes and stuff, because if you want to move, say that you want to have a meme image slowly move across the screen. I wonder if any of these hand gestures I'm making are actually getting in frame, but it's so dark you probably can't even see. But say that you want to have a meme, like my outburst at Joanne Fabrics does not define who I am meme. You want to have that slowly move across the screen, and you want it to move at a constant rate. That is just annoying, because when you set up your keyframes, there's a lot of annoying things to do with keyframes. you have to move your oh, it's getting a little clicky there. It kind of spooked me, honestly. But yeah, you need to move your playhead, basically, where you want the effect to start. Then you need to remember a very specific sequence of events that if you fuck it up and you do it in the wrong order, you have to do it all over again. You have to right click on the property you want to animate. You got to click make keyframe. Wait, I already did it wrong. You have to change it. You have to change the property to what you want it to be. Then click add keyframe. Then you need to move your playhead forward in the video to where you want the effect to stop. Then you need to change that to the value you want, and then you click add keyframe. If you do any of this out of order, or if you do anything in between any of those steps, you're fucked. You got to do it all over again. It's so frustrating. Like, if you move your playhead again before you click add keyframe, you're fucked. You're just fucked. Like, you don't have that anymore. You got to do the whole thing over again. And then when you finally get your keyframes set up, they're always interpolated the same way. They always follow some kind of sigmoid curve or whatever. Instead of, like, often you want it to be linear, right? You want that meme, that little image, to be moving at a constant rate, because that's funnier somehow. But whenever you want to change the curve for how this thing actually moves over time, you have to go into your weird curve editor and you have to like fix it yourself. And a lot of the time, right, there's a very different scale for some of these things. Like if we're talking this, if we're talking two properties like volume, which is a scale from basically 0 to 1, and the position of a video or a video clip or an image on the screen, that's a range between like 0 and 1,000, right? So you have your volume, which is a scale from 0 to 1, and your like position on a plane, which is a position which is between like 0 and 1,000. And like Blender kind of sucks at putting those both in a reasonable way. Like if your camera on if your viewport for editing the 1 to 1,000 range is a certain way, and then you want to try to change a volume keyframe, it's gonna just look like a fucking straight flat line at the bottom of the screen, and you've got to readjust your whole thing, and there's no good way really in Blender to do that, to quickly readjust. And this can also happen like in the time dimension. Like some effects take place over a very long period of time, and some effects take place over a very short period of time. Like that one Far Cry video that I did, where we had one joke where it was just this face that was on the screen for like half of the video, and it's just slowly getting wider. Like that kind of thing, versus a meme that shows up for 2 frames. Right, those are very different time scales, and it's just difficult to move between them ergonomically. There's no ergonomics for that. Bottom line is, it's frustrating and it's difficult, and I don't think that that's exclusive to Blender in any way. I can't imagine a video editing software in the world that just feels like, hey, this is like nice and easy to use. I can't imagine that such a thing actually exists. Windows Movie Maker, by the way, can fuck right off, because that thing sucks. We're not supposed to be making videos in Windows Movie Maker, but I had an idea for a joke video once for shitpost that I never made because I didn't like the way that it turned out. It was basically like an AGK Hitler downfall parody that was made in Movie Maker, right? So I actually had a Windows XP VM set up, and I had Windows Movie Maker, and I like imported all these videos of Hitler and Angry German Kid, and then actually made an AGK parody using Windows Movie Maker. Windows Movie Maker sucks, and it's a combination of a lot of things. First of all, it is just bad. Like, if you try to export video from Windows Movie Maker, you can't do it. It just doesn't work, like, half the time. Like, if you have a semi-complicated project and you try to export it as an MP4 or whatever, no chance it's not going to work. It's going to crash, it's going to say, random error, I don't know what happened, and then you're fucked, you can't do it. Why are we doing this again? You already checked it. I like this font, by the way. But fuck, why are we doing this again? Oh, this Microsoft software sucks. Okay, here's the other thing that's super frustrating and terrible about using Windows Movie Maker in 2022 or 2023. Oh my god, can Windows XP not play anything? If you give Windows XP an audio file or a video file, it probably can't play it. Even stuff that's like, you know, WAV, MP3, MP4, shit that's been around forever. You give it to Windows XP, it cannot do it. So I had to look around on the internet for codecs and shit, and programs that would actually play these things so that I could use them in Movie Maker. It's a miracle that I was able to get any of this to work at all. And it had so many cracks, in the sense that like I would have the audio, for instance. I needed to have some kind of special program running that would like intercept the audio in real time and convert it to a format that XP could use. It was so fucking weird and janky. And if you ever like reversed in Windows Movie Maker, like if you moved your playhead back, you didn't have any audio anymore, and you had to like reset the whole program or something. I don't remember exactly what, but it was annoying. It was sort of like I don't know what it's like. I was gonna say like working in a nuclear reactor and constantly making sure that you're not overheating your rods, but I don't know what it's like to work in a nuclear reactor. It was problematic. It felt like doing pre-flight checks over and over and over again while you're in the air. Like you have to just keep doing this certain thing in order to get this shit to work. And every time you did something a little bit wrong or a little bit weird, all your shit's fucked up. So what ended up happening with that video was, in order to actually export it, because I couldn't export it, it just wouldn't work. So I had to, I just ended up fucking recording the screen with OBS. I was doing all this in a virtual machine. I just recorded the virtual machine screen in OBS. And it's sad that video turned out so shitty. Windows Movie Maker, it was not easy to work with. Like captions, you'd think that doing the captions would be easy. I don't remember exactly why, but doing the captions, it was like almost impossible for me to figure out, first of all, how to even get captions onto the screen. And then the rest of it was just super annoying too. I don't remember exactly why. But yeah, Windows Movie Maker sucks. It's not great. It's not good at all. I mean, it's not even good for simple things. I don't know how we used this as kids. You know, people like, Angry German Kid 82? Like, they made a fucking career out of using Windows Movie Maker to make Angry German Kid videos. How did he export anything? How did he use this? It takes so much finesse. It's like people building computers in Minecraft. Like, every once in a while, someone will build a computer in Minecraft, and it will be something that's like, you know, no command blocks, no armor stands, just pure redstone. It's like this is also stuff that interested me enough that I kind of wanted to try it. But when you're doing it, is your brain just not like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, can you stop this? Why are we wasting time doing this? We're just sitting there and we're building these redstone circuits, and we already know exactly what we have to do. We already know all of the science behind the circuit and how to get it to work. We're not going to come across much interesting stuff when we're doing this. We're not solving any interesting problems. We're just placing these blocks and placing this redstone. And it's the most unergonomic thing ever. If you would just want to do something like this in like vanilla Minecraft with no building mods or anything, it just sucks. The entire process just sucks. It's designed to suck as much as possible. And yet, people will do it. And they will have created this thing. And like part of the mystique of this thing and the prestige of this thing is that it sucked to make. And the people who are viewing understand that. It's like, well, this must have taken you forever. I guess maybe a better example is, I don't know, when people do bad apple videos, and it's like, we made bad apple out of like an actually carved apple. How long did that take you? And you got nothing out of it. Like, what did you get out of it? Well, we have Service Pack 1. Now I have to make Service Pack 2. I'm actually considering not doing it. But the heart wants what the heart wants. Hopefully this one will go faster. It's smaller. Maybe it'll go faster. I don't know. I'm channeling the inner strats here to just sit and talk for a long time. We're not even like, what, 10% of the way, what, 20% of the way through the strats and read? I can do this. Because once this is done, we can actually get to the fun part. But yes, Windows XP, Windows Movie Maker is bad. And I mean, it's kind of like, well, that's self-evident. But it wasn't to me. I honestly thought that, like, okay, we had all these people making like Hitler parodies and AGK parodies. It must be simple to do. It must be easy to do, right? No, it's not. Those kids were sitting there like torturing themselves with this shitty software. And I feel like maybe I would have been able to do that in the past, but not now. That's something that I see different. Oh shit, I actually gotta run this. That's something I see different between myself currently and myself from like 4 or 5 years ago, is my tolerance for bullshit has just gone down so much. I remember when I was just getting into Linux, I distro hopped like a motherfucker, and I did configs like crazy. I set up like tiling window managers and shit, and I set up crazy vimrc configs and shit. I never really got into NeoVim, but I loved Vim, and I loved configuring all this, personalizing all this stuff on my computer. And now it's like, fuck, I would never be able to sit through that. I cannot configure shit. I actually tried to get into NeoVim recently, and I read a little bit of like, here's some tips for configuring NeoVim as a beginner. It was like, there was so much shit. I couldn't take it. I could not take it. I have no tolerance for this anymore. I have no tolerance whatsoever for sitting down and doing a bunch of rote work and like debugging stuff and working with software that's terrible. No tolerance for it whatsoever. And I had to have a very strong tolerance for that when I worked on the old ARG. Just because of Mandelbulb 3D and J Wildfire. And also, like, just the entire structure of it as a whole. Whoa, I almost dropped the mouse. That's the most interesting thing that's going to happen in this video. But, I had to have so much tolerance for bullshit back in the day. So much. No idea. Mandelbulb 3D and J Wildfire, they both took fucking forever to render scenes. Especially on the crappy computers I had at the time. They weren't even that bad. But they just took forever to generate scenes. Their interfaces suck. I hate the interfaces so much. You know, classic, you know, insert airplane cockpit joke here. Whatever. They just were terrible. And so I had to have so much tolerance for that to make the... I made some really complicated things with those pieces of software. I would never be able to do that again. That's never happening again. Why is this already like halfway done? Oh. Maybe it'll be quick. Maybe it'll be done quick. Maybe. Probably not. But all of this stuff had to happen. It was just so much shitty software. There was even more shitty software. The whole Imgur thing, like the way that I did it, where I set up the Imgur links and stuff. Yeah, it sucked because if you fucked something up and you had to change something, you had to change everything below it, right? So you had to be very confident that you didn't make any mistakes in your puzzles. And if you did, if you started uploading stuff and then realized that you made a mistake, everything before that has to change, because you have to re-upload the thing that had the mistake in it, and that changes the URL. So all of the puzzles before it have to be redone. And what that meant for some puzzles, at least the ones where it was practical, is that they had to be automated in some way. Like I had to have some sort of automatic process for creating the puzzles. And back in that time, I mean, I'm still not, but I was not a good programmer at all. So I didn't know how to do that most of the time with like generating puzzles. And even if you are a good programmer, there's only so much you can do to generate a puzzle like that, because there's a lot of, you got to place the images and you've got to type the text and you have to test it, and some of that you could probably automate all of that, but it would be a lot of effort, maybe more effort than it's worth. So that was another point of tolerance, where it's like you have to have the tolerance for redoing all this shit if you ever made a mistake. And I made mistakes a lot. And I never had an automatic system or a good system for writing that Superlight, the cipher. So it got mistakes all the time. It was full of mistakes. It was basically never correct. And you had to add tolerance for looking at it and being like, fuck, I messed it up, and now it doesn't make any sense. And people are like trying to decode this thing that has spelling mistakes in it. And, you know, people are running around like making theories like, oh, maybe the language works like this and the cipher works like this. And I'm like, yes, great, that's awesome, they're figuring it out. And then they come across some exception to it because it was a mistake. And then they're like, oh, no, it can't work like that. And I'm just like, oh, fuck, no. Why? You were on the right track. It's such a horrible feeling to have everybody on the right track when they're solving something, and then you fuck it up. And people think they're not on the right track. That's the worst feeling. That feeling is awful. And it happened all the time back then. And it still happens with some of the doughbyte puzzles. But doughbyte, a lot nicer that I actually have control over the image uploading rather than doing it through Imgur. And I guess while we're on the subject of Imgur, how about Imgur deleting a bunch of old stuff? I don't know the full extent of this, but they're deleting stuff that is old and unused by whatever metric they have. I don't know what they mean by unused, like nobody's visited it in a year or 2 years or something? No one's visited in X amount of time? The link rot there is going to be crazy. We're going to lose so much stuff. Somebody likened it to like a Library of Alexandria burning down, which I think is probably a poor metaphor for Imgur, because I don't think there's that much useful shit on there that has been unused by whatever Imgur's metric is, unless Imgur's metric for old and unused is like, 2 months old or something. Then that's a big problem. Now, I'm not saying that even if something is 5 years old or whatever on Imgur and hasn't been viewed in 5 years, that it's useless. That's quite the contrary, actually. I just don't think it's quite like Library of Alexandria level destruction. Of course, nobody's really claiming it is. I do hate link rot. Link rot is something that's very annoying and frustrating on the internet to run into. And Microsoft, why is Microsoft the worst with this? You can look stuff up. Like, you can look up Microsoft documentation, Microsoft help forums, and whenever there's a link to like a Microsoft download, you know that shit doesn't work. You know it, like for 100% certainty. If you're on some forum or you're on some troubleshooting board, bulletin board or whatever, and you find a link to like download this patch from Microsoft, and it doesn't work. It never ever works. I'm surprised. The one thing that does work is the Microsoft Update Catalog, and that's why I was able to get these service packs. Because the Microsoft Update Catalog is legit and it's based. It actually it exists and it has stuff in it. That's the only place. If you got to download something old from Microsoft, it's the only place you can go. And Microsoft is so bad with these links not working that even in Windows 11, I'm pretty sure, you can click on like, I need help and support for Windows 11. And it'll like bring you to a broken link. I'm pretty sure. Whenever I've been in like Windows 10 or something and been like, get more information about printers in Windows 10, you click it and it brings you to just a link that redirects back to the Microsoft.com homepage, and they try to sell you a Surface Pro or something. Awful. You know, that's something that wouldn't happen with Windows 7. Windows 7 is so much better than Windows 10 and Windows 11. Well, I think it kind of is. It doesn't make me feel like Microsoft is trying to kill me. It feels like it's actually trying to be useful, and not like it's trying to exploit me in some way. That's really one of the big differences, because like, yeah, you bought Windows 7, right? Like, they got your money. They got your $130 or whatever the fuck for Windows 7 Professional. And even when you buy Windows 10, like, you bought Windows 10. They already got your money. They got your $100. Why do you need to continue to try to strangle shit out of me? Like, I'm your customer already. I believe in you. I bought your product. Well, nobody believes in Windows, but still, we bought your product. We're your customers. Why are you trying to put ads in the start menu? You got our money. Maybe that's just Microsoft admitting that nobody actually pays for Windows. Now, I've heard, I've never actually tried this, I only pirate old Windows. I don't pirate new Windows, but I've heard that there are, like, places where you can go, where you can buy Windows keys for a very extremely low amount of money, and there are also people who will just give out some kind of volume license key, whatever nonsense, and it'll just activate your Windows 10, and that's it. Like, people just give them out on Reddit and shit. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but if it is, like, maybe Microsoft is just acknowledging, hey, nobody pays for Windows. So what if, in the future, you don't buy Windows anymore, right? You buy a subscription to Windows. Like the same way that you don't buy Office anymore, you buy a subscription to Office. What if in the future you subscribe to Windows? Now, I've had this conversation with some people, I'm sure maybe even one of you, but I do truly believe that if Microsoft did that, if they started saying, okay, Windows costs $10 a month or $5 a month, all of the people who are saying that's when I'd switch to Linux, they wouldn't switch to Linux, because Linux is probably still worse than just paying $5 a month for Windows. Some people are saying that would be the death of Microsoft. Like, they wouldn't be able to do anything. Look, guys, Windows already sucks and you haven't switched. Like, people still buy it for their computers. When people do new PC builds, they're still buying Windows. There's 1,000 easier ways to get Windows. You don't see people pirating Windows on like r/PC Master Race. Like, the people who bought Windows for their builds are still gonna buy Windows. People aren't gonna switch to Linux. It's too hard. People would rather, this is a common law throughout behavior of people, is that they would rather accept a problem they can't solve than a solution they don't understand. Linux is a solution they don't understand. People would rather live with a problem they can't solve. I guarantee you, Microsoft could start charging $5 or $10 a month for Windows and nobody would do a damn thing. They wouldn't switch. Now, maybe there's a point where it's too expensive. Like, if they started charging $100 a month for Windows, that's simply not going to work. I think actually at that point, the more likely result is that people just start pirating in mass. And if that becomes too difficult because Microsoft cracks down on it too hard, then maybe Linux starts becoming more popular. with some people. Your average user is definitely not going to pay $100 a month for Windows. Maybe enterprises would. Maybe they kind of already do. I don't know if I don't know what Azure costs, but I don't know. Maybe enterprises would pay $100 a month for Windows. Maybe they would. Maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they would. Maybe Microsoft would have some sort of like volume enterprise pricing plan where it costs like $1,000 a month so that they can have, I don't know. I almost dropped the mouse again. Whatever. The average consumer, right? Like if it's just 10 or maybe even 15, like maybe the cutoff is like $20 a month where it's too much for Windows. Because you gotta, you might have more than one device, and then that's gonna start racking up to a lot of money really quickly. But I think $5 or $10, people wouldn't do a damn thing. They would keep paying for it. At the very least, they would start considering piracy, but they would not switch to Linux. And I do not think Linux is worth switching to as well. Like, if you are using your computer and you hate Windows, but you also like hate computers in general, you're not going to enjoy Linux. Linux is just going to piss you off even more. Like if you want your computer to just work, you don't want Linux. And I think that describes 95% of people. I use Linux pretty much just because I like the utilities it has. I like the package management where software is not a total fucking free-for-all. And I like the way that software development on it feels a lot more integrated, because of the fact that you've got all those tools like Make and GCC and stuff that are like historic and have been around forever, and you don't like need to use Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code like you kind of do on Windows. Like you have other options. That's what I like about it. And all of those things are not things that are appealing to the average person. What's really appealing to the average person about Linux? Nothing. It's more customizable, I guess. It's more privacy respecting. But let's be real here. If you're using Windows, or if you like use Google Chrome, or if you like even use Firefox but you don't block Google, or if you use Discord, or if you use TikTok or Snapchat or anything, or if you go to YouTube, or if you use any Google site, like you're fucked. Like you have already rescinded your rights to privacy by doing any of that. Like if you don't outright block Google entirely from all your network traffic, you don't care. So nobody who uses Linux for like, I think it's more private and secure, and then they like run Discord or Google Chrome on it, like that's bullshit. That's total bullshit. Like this is something that you have to go Richard Stallman, like live in a fucking mountain hut, or bust, to me. Now, that's kind of an exaggeration, really. I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like the privacy aspect of Linux is super compelling. It helps to know that you don't have Windows telemetry, but maybe you have like GNOME telemetry, but you don't have Microsoft telemetry, and you can be assured at least somewhat that there's not secret NSA hacks in it. But at that point, can you even really be sure that Linux doesn't? Because what, have you audited the code base? Like, oh, it's open source. Well, have you looked at it? No, because you can't. It's massive. And you're a fucking idiot. You're not gonna see the security vulnerability in the code that the NSA slipped in. You don't know. Like all this stuff you can't trust any of it. You can't even trust your computer itself because the fucking hardware probably has NSA backdoors in it. So yeah, it's like, it's nice that you don't have Windows telemetry and shit, but like if the government or something wants your fucking information, they can get it. It's not going to be hard. Either they use their like AMD Intel backdoor, or they just ask fucking Google for it. Oh, you cut out all of Google? Well, now you're doing a little better, but still, you can't trust your computer itself. You can't trust most of the hardware out there. And none of this stuff is secure. It's like the only way to really be secure is just to not use any of this stuff at all. Like, unplug your computer from the wall. That'll be $80. You're secure now. Rant. So yeah, I enjoy Linux purely for the practical reasons. I have no ideology whatsoever of free software being better than proprietary software, like by default. I really used to, and I maybe still illustrate that tendency from time to time, or that belief from time to time. But I don't truly honestly believe that there's something that makes free open source software like intrinsically better than proprietary software. I think it's true that those Venn diagrams often intersect, very often, between proprietary software and like shitty software, whereas for free open source stuff, it does kind of tend to be higher quality, just purely from anecdotal evidence. But there's nothing in me that is going to, recoil at the horror of using Windows or some other software because it's proprietary and the source isn't available. Like, Richard Stallman got mad at a printer 80 years ago or whatever, and then he just started going fucking crazy. And yeah. So I have no ideology. I'm viewing this from a purely pragmatic point of view. And my problem with Windows is that it doesn't help me get things done. It gets in my way. And that's why I prefer to use Linux. Now, Linux still gets in my way to the point where I really genuinely consider switching back. But it's just, you're picking whatever pisses you off the least. Because all this shit is horrible, and all of it has problems, and all of it's going to piss you off. So you just got to choose something and just accept some of the problems. That's why I mentioned that was a useful skill a while ago. Is just you gotta be able to have a situation that you can't fix, and sometimes you just gotta be able to live with it because the solution is worse. It's gonna take so much time and effort to figure out, and then it gets like fucked by something. It's like one of the reasons I don't like setting up config files forever is because, like, what happens when one thing changes and your configs stop working? Or what happens when you switch to a different computer? I used to have this really detailed vimrc that had all these like binding changes in it, and it was super customized just for me. And then it's like I had to do a bunch of work on the school machines, which don't have it. It's like, well, fuck, now I gotta like remake it or whatever for this machine, and now I gotta remake it for this other machine. It's not worth it. Just learn how to use the default setup, and then you'll be able to use it every time. It's ubiquitous. And you could be like, well, that's why you should get a dot file manager, but it's just adding a more complexity. Just get used to the way it is by default. And like, you see something that doesn't perfectly match your tastes, fuck it. Just go up and deal with it. It's way easier. It takes way less effort than actually customizing everything and trying to keep that consistent. So like all the people who do like ricing and stuff on their desktops, I think it's great. I think they should continue doing that, but it's not for me at all. Especially because like once you start getting in this mindset where you see things and they're not quite right and you want to fix them, you spend so much time fixing these things, and it becomes a hobby into itself, right? Just tweaking your shit and looking for themes and making themes and learning fucking color theory to make your terminal themes, and like looking for desktops and Lua configuration and scripting and all this other shit. It can take so much time, and that's not what I want to be spending time on. I have other things I'd rather be doing than just configuring stuff and personalizing it. And the really annoying thing with KDE, there's a lot of annoying things with KDE, the desktop environment I use, but one annoying thing is that it keeps resetting my wallpaper. So I have to just be okay with whatever wallpaper they decide to reset me to whenever I update KDE. I just have to be okay with that. It's not worth it. It's like a higher power of the universe has come for this, and I can't have this decision. It's not allowed. I can't make that decision. The universe simply does not allow me to make this decision. So why am I fighting the universe, right? The universe does what it wants. It's fate. Fate dictates I can't use this wallpaper. So I'm just not going to. And like fate dictates that you can't set up cute 6 on an arch. So just don't. Oh, we're rebooting. It's a lot of rant. But ultimately, the only thing you can really take from this is that computers suck, and I hate them. And you probably also hate them. And Linux is not some promised land. It does a lot of things better than Windows, but you're going to run into a lot of issues with it as well. It's no promised land whatsoever. There's a lot you're going to have to learn. And the people who enjoy using Linux are the people who are okay with making tweaking and fixing a hobby. That's important. I think that's a key distinction. Like, most people aren't. Most people simply aren't. And there are all those distros where it's like user-friendly distros, Mint, Ubuntu. Like, your mileage will vary with these. Maybe you do set it up and it's perfectly fine for a while, but you're eventually going to have to fucking fix something. Something is going to go wrong, or you're going to want some piece of software that's not in the repositories. You need to go out and get a fucking PPA for it. Nothing is ever perfect, but people will try to tell you, they will try to convince you with the fucking... They will try their absolute hardest to convince you that it is perfect. You'll get people saying X is so much better than Y, X distro is so much better than Y, X desktop environment is so much better than Y. The other, like, Y is a joke. You should never be using that at all for anything ever. They're all wrong. They're simply incorrect. Because if you go to the other side, you know, people saying, I would never use Arch over Ubuntu. Ubuntu is so much better. It's so much easier. You go to the other side, you get, I would never use Ubuntu over Arch. Arch is so much better. It depends so much on individual situation. And this kind of stuff is not helpful at all. But it's everywhere. It's everywhere where people will try to convince you with their entire heart and mind and soul that X is better than Y in all situations. It never, ever is. There are always drawbacks to everything. It extends to, I think that extends to a lot of things in computing and particularly life. Never, ever is anything perfect. I believe I can pretty much just boil this point down to gatekeeping in elitism is bad, and we know that already. That's not a hot take. And it's not a hot take that said things are frustrating. That's also not a hot take. This is going faster, I think, than the last one. It feels like it's going faster. I think that the first one actually did take an hour. When it did say an hour or more, it did take an hour. I really hope that I don't have anything to edit in this video. There's the one time when I potentially showed myself. But, which I might edit out, but maybe I just won't, because who cares? Now, maybe I should get a Yodis and see if, maybe we can get some Yodis actually visible on here. Let's, maybe we'll see what happens. Alright, I'm gonna go get them and get the Yaki. Oh, we just got a reboot. Alright, well, can we see any of it? Very evil, looking very evil today, Lotus. I'll just put her up there. You can't even see that. Maybe once we get some light. Oh my god, we actually did it. We installed both don't speak too soon. Don't speak too soon. We've almost installed both service packs. Got a mouse. So, anybody who's still watching, I think it would be fun to do something like this with some company, potentially. So... Oh, come on. No, stage 1, okay, 3 of 3. I thought that said 1 of 3, maybe it did. Can we see? Oh, you can see a little bit of Yoda's snout. It's not that much. Yeah, like, as I was saying before, the room is bright. Like, the lights are on. And this is about as much Yoda's as we can get. Yeah. It's not great. There's some difference between the human eye and a camera that's very significant here. I don't know this shit. Optics? I didn't go to school. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, as I was saying, actually, I don't know, or what even interrupted me. I don't remember. I think this would be fun to maybe do with somebody else. Maybe. It's gonna turn into. See, the problem is, I don't think that anyone watching this actually gives a shit about Windows and like installing old versions of Windows. So that might be kind of a problem. I would love to have somebody who actually did care about this and who thought it was as interesting as I do and just as, I don't know, calming, therapeutic. I kind of hate that word, but it's true, I guess. I just like looking at it. Somebody else like that would be fun to do this with, but I don't know if there's any other fucking weirdos in my immediate vicinity that actually care. Like, I've got a bunch of people who are very, very, a bunch of people from my university who are extremely into FOSS and Linux and stuff, and maybe they do this, but I don't think they'd like all the Windows that's going on. I think they would hate that. So I'm just, I'm just trapped in a world I don't belong in, is basically what that is. Well, alright, we have both service packs. And now we can do the actual fun part. I don't think there's a third service pack. So help me God if there is. I'm not installing it. I want to get Arrow on here. And I want to maybe consider the internet. But I don't know what Ethernet drivers I would be looking for necessarily. But let's go ahead and download some drivers. So let's oh yeah, I was supposed to do that while this was installing, but I forgot. I don't know why is this entertaining to me? Like, where did I go wrong in my life that this is entertaining to me? Just clicking a button and waiting for a progress bar to go up, and then like occasionally the computer reboots or something during that progress bar. It's like that one sketch from Tim and Eric, the sleepwatching chair. Like, why is the guy sit in the sleepwatching chair? Why is that interesting to him? To watch another dude sleep. That's like me right now. Why is this interesting to me? What happened in my brain? What happened? You know, I can't really get anything else in my life going, but this is the shit. This is the shit that gets me going. Alright, we're gonna download several of these NVIDIA drivers just in case one of them doesn't work. I'm prepared for that, because you go to the Dell or the HP like driver download site and you go to their drivers and you get their drivers, the ones that they produce, or not produce, but the ones that they, well, maybe they did produce them, but the ones that they set up. This is an HP driver for XP. What the fuck? Yeah, I don't think that most of this stuff is gonna work. So we're gonna get 3 of them, and then we're gonna see how this turns out. I'm gonna delete all this other shit on here. I don't think we're gonna need this again. So let's just delete all of the like Vista installation shit on here. Okay, now we're just working with some files now. Just the files. Plug it out, plug it in. Alright, so let's run some random drivers, and if these are malware it doesn't matter because we're not connected to the internet. Oh, cool. We're gonna do the extracting on my Pentium 4 when I could have done it on my Ryzen. Yeah. It just takes longer, and that's all the fun, is taking a large amount of time. It's no wonder I tried to make AWAR an idle game, really, if I just like progress bars, right? What the fuck? What is this? Is this like some character encoding garbage that didn't work right? Oh yeah, it is. Well, this is displaying fine. But dash dash plus plus dash pipe plus tilde dot HTML. Alright, let's run setup. But which one? PD setup or setup? Who knows? Let's just run setup. Ooh, alright, this one has gotten to the load the program phase. Nope. Okay. Oh boy, we're gonna have a fucking good time trying to get drivers working for this thing. Oh, wait a second, what the hell did I actually download? Okay, so driverscape.com is like, here's an NVIDIA GeForce 4 MX440 driver. It's not. Ugh. Why do I have 2 that are the same? Oh, one of them's a folder. I'm stupid. I actually don't want that. Can I uncheck it? I can. So yeah, there's a bunch of drivers we probably can't use, but maybe we can manually install them like you have to do sometimes on Windows 2000 or earlier. I mean, or around that time period, where the installer doesn't work, but you can still try to install them manually and use the like .inf files. However the fuck drivers work, some dark pixie magic bullshit. But yeah, you can like point Windows to the actual driver and it's fine because it just like you manually do what the installer does. And even though like these drivers are designed by professionals and everything, and these are made by professional companies, Like, they still suck ass. Like, the installer software is shit, terrible, dumb, bad. I don't know how. What the fuck? Okay, some of this might actually be malware. I don't know. Setup detected this. The operating system in use is not Windows? Like, this is what I'm talking about. Why is the software all so shitty? Like, the NVIDIA... You have engineers pushing the boundaries of what is possible with hardware, and this is like a different Windows. Like, what the fuck? How old is this? When did this driver? I guess I can't tell. But maybe it's 2006. It says that it literally says it supports Windows Vista on the DriverScape page. I think DriverScape is just shitty. Whatever, let's run this HP Pavilion. Yeah, HP drivers. Operating system Windows XP. Fucking garbage. This probably isn't gonna work. Now I get to run some shitty NVIDIA software. This is going up again. Yeah, this is simply not correct. Thank you, DriverScape, for all of these working pieces of software. I will now delete all of them because they make me upset. Alright, so next up on the list of Google is NVIDIA.com itself. GeForce 4 MX440W AGP8X driver updat. And this is a forum, actually. This is a forum post. FTP. Dude, this guy on a forum is posting FTP links. Well, let's try to use it. I actually don't know how to do this. Oh, and I'm on Windows too, so like, yeah, I got no shot. Let's see. Download FTP file. I don't know actually know how to do this. FileZilla. Wait, can you just put it in Explorer? Can't Explorer do this? No. Can Edge do it? Why would Edge be able to do it? Edge can't do shit. Am I really gonna have to download FileZilla or something? Oh, fine. Oh my god. I'm upset. I'm crying. FileZilla Pro. Just give it to me, man. I don't care. Like, load me up with your adware. This is a throwaway Windows install anyway. It's already got a bunch of spyware on it. Oh, we're getting offered AVG. I'm sorry you can't see this. But we're getting offered AVG. Does anybody remember Unchecky, that software that came out in like 2010 or something? That would just run in the background, and anytime it detected you were running an installer and it gave you some kind of offer, like free Yahoo toolbars and free Google Chromes, it would uncheck it for you. And it worked like off of some combination of educated heuristics on software that was running and like pre-programmed detection of like, hey, I recognize that this is a shitty CNET installer and so I know what to do. It was interesting. Okay, FileZilla. I don't know how to use this. We're gonna figure out. Host. It is upsetting that I don't have the other monitor plugged in. Download.nvidia.com. Username and password. I don't need that shit, do I? Oh, port. Whatever, it's the fucking fucking default port, right? Okay, can't I just open this in files though? Like, what the fuck? Come on. Oh, God. Open this link in FileZilla. And it doesn't work. It must be down. Okay, great. Thanks for the FTP link. It doesn't work. Thank you. Love it. Forceware 32. What is this shit? No, that's not good. All these links are broken. Oh no, all these links are broken. You can't, NVIDIA's site is not useful. Or is it? We actually have a, what the Oh my god, this website has a back button on it that just clicks the back button in your browser. It just does JavaScript history.back. That's funny. It doesn't go back to the page or anything that it's from. Oh, this is a beta driver. Yeah, that shit never works. I don't know if this is the right driver. Why am I getting the Microsoft Update Catalog? What the hell? The Microsoft Update Catalog has drivers for this card? What? No shot. No shot at all. No way. You gotta be kidding. Well, they probably don't work, but we'll try them. Damn, straight from Microsoft. It's just a cab file. I don't know what to do with that. Well, maybe I can learn. Maybe I can figure out. Alright, let's give it a shot. Let's see what we can do. I have never seen a driver be offered on the Windows Update Catalog before. And this is the based place I was just talking about, which is neat. It's extra based in this situation. Well, I don't know if this works or not. We'll see. The fact that they're giving this to me as just a cab file and not an installer actually does inspire more confidence than it would otherwise. I really wish there was a better way to do this than the USB. Just fucking around with the USB. But it's like I can't possibly think about using the network until I install network drivers. Oh, that's the wrong USB, isn't it? Uh-oh. Oh yeah, that's Calibri OS. That's a fun one. Should check out CalibriOS. That's not the right one either, is it? Shit. Yayla. Nope. We don't want Yayla. Get out. See, I got 3 USBs attached to this key ring. Oh. Oh, okay, there we go. Alright. So, what do I need to do to install this? I probably am going to have to look. There's a README. Alright, let's just extract this, huh? If we can. Maybe we can't. Alright. There's a README. Let's read the README. Extract it to the fucking drive. Like, seriously, what are you doing? Yeah, get in there. Okay. Yeah, so... Oops. Okay. I think everything's... Yeah. Okay. So yeah, they want me to do it manually, huh? Let's see if this works. Device manager. Yes. You are allowed to use my computer, device manager. I allow you. Okay. Select the driver tab. Update. Browse. Yeah, and then I can just go for it. Or no, I have to do this, right? Okay, it's not, I need to do this, I think. Shit. I think I might have to do it the other way. Where I do this. Yeah, that, next. What is it doing? What is it doing? I thought I would be able to specify. What? What do you mean install driver software? Huh? Did it actually do something? I almost don't buy it. I don't. What the fuck? That's the one where I didn't specify location. How could it have found anything? I don't know if Arrow is just gonna work. If that actually, like, really did install the driver, I'm gonna take a shit at some unknown point in the future. Which, implicates me to nothing. Anybody remember Skype? Skype was how I talked to people that I cared about back in the day. And now it's Teams or something. Yeah, sure. Okay, the question is, how's our computer looking? I don't know, it seems to still be performing like ass. Let's see if we can get arrow on. No. So that in fact did not do anything. Yes. Okay. Unless we just are not powerful enough to run arrow. Fuck. Which is also a possibility. Oh, well. I guess we'll keep looking. Whoops. What? Oh, I guess I had this open before. It's got some kind of driver. Wow, what is all this? I don't know what a computer is. Okay. Well, MS download catalog let me down, unfortunately. I'm upset. I'm frustrated, but it didn't say that it was compatible with Vista, so I guess I can't be that upset. Let's see, siliconguide.com, driver database. Not include Windows Vista. Should. I'm from Brazil and will try on an old 98 PC. Cialis dosage? There's some Viagra spam on here. That's funny. Drivehub.net. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got an install drivers automatically button. That's what you're looking for. Well shit, this is the most promising looking one I've seen so far. Except I gotta do the dance again where I take this thing out. We'd delete these. I don't need them. Yeah. Maybe I could get that to work, but I don't know how to use a computer. So let's just eject. Oh. Okay, let's go in here. Alright. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Copy this. Put it in here. And eject. Fingers crossed on this one. It's been the most promising one so far from drvhub.com, which is trying to offer me some PC Optimizer Pro bullshit. Alright. Extract Xbacks. Now we wait. Oh, that's not a lot of waiting. It's just a little bit. Oh dear. Uh-oh. Oh no. Why is there a driver hub malware on here? What is in here? Got some DLLs. Got some... What are you talking about? It's a fucking text file. What? Oh yeah. Support for Windows Vista. Alright, what happens when I run this thing? Nothing? It's currently infesting my computer. And why are there so few processes? Okay, I don't think that shit did anything. No, there's just no installation whatsoever. Well, perhaps we can try Device Manager again. We can go to Driver Update, Browse. You just go in here. Every time. That's never, I don't think that's ever worked. I don't know why I keep trying. I'm like, what is it doing here? What is this? What do you mean? Like, what do you actually mean by that? Alright. This is so frustrating, like, just nothing's working. None of these are compatible with Vista. Like, I can get an XP one or an NT 4.0 one, but I can't get anything else, really. Maybe that one will work. That 93.71 Forceware, I've heard that's kind of what we're looking for a little bit. Maybe. Am I not even going to be able to get Arrow on here? Is it possible that this computer is just not powerful enough at all? Oh wait, I gotta delete this. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Now if you're still watching, this is the real endurance test. Okay, we got our stupid ass driver. Maybe I should. There's no need to be rude. I was just. Let's download like a couple of these actually, so that I have some possibilities. Two. Let's get some from driverguide.com. Oh, that's bullshit. That's probably malware. Update utility. Yeah, no, anything that's called secure download is probably not right. Oh, there's a CNET. Rocket drivers. There's so many of these. Driversdownloader.com. Computer update. .biz. Yeah, sure. It's like this CNET download is like not even NVIDIA GeForce MX 440 driver. It's like you're downloading the card. Oh, cool. We have more options. I love it when they say, like, this is Vista compatible, and, like, they know they're lying to you. That's fun. Unofficial NVIDIA drivers website? Are there, like, other people driving? Uh-oh. Okay, I actually managed to find a super user post saying drivers for NVIDIA GeForce 4 MX 440 with AGP 8X Windows 7. That's exactly what we're trying to do, except for Windows 7. But, and this guy, Abraxas, wow, that's deep cutting me right now. But yeah, the card is far too old to support the Vista kernel's graphics requirements. No driver has been made since it does not have the needed capabilities. Some people have managed to get some use out of by using the Vista 7 version of NVIDIA's 61.76 WHQL drivers. They must be installed manually. Well, alright. Some other guy says, hey, I had the same problem for some time. I just installed Forceware 72.14 and it works flawlessly. And there's a guy in the comments who says -1. Now Windows 7 isn't booting, black screen. Big thanks. Yes. Alright. So what I'm getting from this is we're not going to be able to get Arrow probably, and we're not going to be able to get the Yuck SCR. This shit sucks. Like, this is going so wrong. I mean, we installed it. What more can I really ask for? That's all I really wanted to do. But I'm still upset. I want fucking Arrow, and this computer is fighting me. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. I'm back. Hello. I hope. I fucking unplugged the webcam instead of the USB stick. I gotta fix this. Oh, did it reset my camera settings too? No, it looks like it's still the same camera settings. I gotta get it to fucking, there we go, and then... Fit... Okay. And then I need to put the gain back on. I think I had a gain. CNET.com is like becoming sentient in the background. I think I had like 10 decibels of gain. Well, that sucked, but I think we're back to normal. Never stop the recording. Alright, let's not do that again. Of course, the fucking, the webcam is right next to the USB stick. So we got a bunch of drivers on here that people say might break your computer, so we're just gonna go for it. We're gonna try this one. Okay. Yeah. If I can tell some dipshit on Nvidia's site to get fucked, I would love that. Again, it's like it's not Windows. Okay. What about this one? But that guy said you have to like run it in compatibility mode or something. What are you talking about? I trust this completely. Program compatibility. Fully trust this with my life. Random Stack Overflow downloads have never driven me wrong. This is getting a little bit farther than last time. I think this is the one that the guy said blacked his screen and made his computer unbootable. So maybe we won't even get to put on the Yuck deck. Or maybe this is, I don't know, just wait for it. Just let it do its thing. Wow, okay. The background looks totally black through the camera, but I assure you there is a cute sort of NVIDIA background going on there. So, yeah. It's like something you'd see on, I don't know, a pair of pajamas or a bed sheet. NVIDIA pajamas, all cozy. Wow, it actually worked. All right, well, here we go. Trashed computer. Let's do it. If this actually works, I mean, we'll be able to fix it by doing safe mode, I'm sure. I think that guy on Super User was just a bit of a dipshit idiot who didn't know how to fix his machine. I'm pretty sure safe mode will be able to get us out of a jam. And if we do have to go into safe mode, I'm just going to say fuck it. We're not going to install the drivers. We're not going to get Arrow. Let's just do a Yacht deck and let's do a round of hearts. One or more of those. Alright, let's see here. So far, we're fine. So far... looking just peachy. You can still see a little bit of Yotis, the hand right here. I'll hold your hand. I'm scared. I'm scared, Yotis. I don't know what I'm gonna see. Am I gonna see a black screen? No boot? We're getting some boot. Okay. Log into Romal. Please tell me that I can be mad at this guy on Super User for being wrong. Please tell me. Well, we did boot. Computer's running about the same level of bad. Let's take a quick look at device manager. Yeah, I mean, like, I own this machine. It's me. You're God. Alright. This has changed. It used to say something else. The driver version updated. Digital signer. Microsoft Windows hardware compatibility publisher. Alright, sure. Well, yeah, the drivers are different. Let's see if we can activate Arrow. Moment of truth? Ah. Well. I guess we're just not getting Arrow. Man, that shit sucks. Well, actually, there's one thing we can try, which is get into that safe mode and like disable loading unsigned or enable loading unsigned drivers. I'm gonna have to quickly remember how to do that. Okay, F8. F8 while booting. Here we go. Beep, 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 beep. I'm a beepable guy. Did I miss it? Did I miss my window because I was beeping too much? What the fuck? It didn't work. Do I need to be pressing it earlier? Come on. Come on, Riddick. I can't believe this shit. No Arrow is gonna piss me off. Angry. well, okay, I tried to boot from USB. Freaked out a little bit. A little bit there. We gotta get past the USB thing, and then I have to spam F8 like immediately afterwards. What's the timing for this shit? There we go. Okay, now we can disable driver signature enforcement. It's unlikely that's the problem we're having. I think the more likely answer is just that it doesn't fucking work. What if there's some way that I could just force enable arrow? If that's possible. No arrow. I guess we're just not getting arrow. Well, we can try to get internet. And then we can try to get... Actually, I'm just going to really quickly look up Windows Vista force arrow. I don't think such a thing can really exist. Force arrow. But let's just take a look. Do we have arrow in here? Nope. Nope, we do not. Oh, man. That just sucks. That just sucks. Well, we got a tech power up. Oh boy. Okay, we got some regedit steps. How to force arrow on unsupported graphics cards. Okay, we got some regedit shit to do. I'm down. I'm down to ruin my computer. You know what, we've run so many driver installers and shit, I think I'm just not going to connect this to the internet because I'm a little worried about what might happen. But let's see here. Current user, software, Microsoft, Windows, alright, yada yada yada. DWM. Create a new D word. Use machine check. Fuck. Machine check. Set its value to 0. This tells Windows to ignore the hardware check done to determine if the hardware can run arrow. Alright. Another one called blur 0. What does this do? Oh. These are optional. We can disable blur and animations. The guy says that we should do this just to test, so why might as well. Animations 0. Okay. Now these are tips for Windows 7. Who knows if this shit will even work. Now we open a command prompt as administrator, always a good sign. And we run net stop UXSMS, and then net start UXSMS, and I guess that will refresh this arrow thing. Well, we're still not getting it. Maybe we have to restart. All right. So the guy saying it doesn't work on Windows. Fine. We're just grasping at straws here. Hey, there's another source that's saying to do the exact same thing, so this could be actually like a little bit legit, maybe. I don't know. WikiHow has another thing here. WikiHow. Oh yeah, they just tell you to do it the normal way, of course. The way that they're not gonna let me do, because Windows doesn't work with their shitty hardware. Okay. Windows Marketplace. Windows Marketplace makes it easy to buy, to try, buy, and download software. Let's go. Okay. Never mind. Personalized color. No. 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 Oh. What is this? SSD. Why are we doing this in such a convoluted way? Change computer settings. Ugh. Yeah, that didn't do a damn thing. Alright. Okay, actually there's some slightly different instructions somewhere else. Let's go back to regedit. Okay, so interesting. Colorization color. That's interesting. Okay, they say change composition policy to 2. Alright. And then we do the same net start stop thing. Let's see if we can't get this to work. This particular instruction is for enabling arrow on Vista Basic. Net stop UX SMS. Net start UX SMS. Alright. And then what do we got here? Can we do it? No. Can we restart? I guess we'll try, because why not? But I don't feel great about it. Anything else we can do? Maybe all those service packs were a problem. Maybe this shit only works without the service packs. Maybe. Perhaps. Fuck. This has just been such a massive failure. It's demoralizing. I mean, I'm already demoralized. I'm already no moral. Okay. I did my best. Piece of shit. Oh, there's a beta archive forum post about it. They always know the good shit. Well, they're talking about beta builds. Of course they are. Now they're doing the composition policy 2. Fuck. 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 Alright. Well, I simply do not want to go through getting the internet working on this thing. So here's what, instead, we're just going to move the yacht deck over on the USB. That's what we're going to do instead. And we'll see if it works or not. I have a suspicion that it won't work because of the different way that Vista seems to render the cards, or at least scale the cards. Because that yacht deck only works when the cards are scaled to a certain amount, because I was too lazy to replace the small versions of the cards and the textures. Oh yeah, that's right, the site is down. Fuck. Oh shit. No. Do I have this somewhere else? Oh, eat my ass. This is terrible. Everything has gone wrong. Let's see here. Son of a bitch. I don't think I have it anywhere else. Alright, I'm not gonna settle for this. I'm not gonna settle for this. Okay, while that's happening, I'm currently summoning the Akins back into the world through black magic. I just want to quickly go through. We're gonna do the tier list here of of the Vista wallpapers. So real quick, all these are shit. All these are shit. All of these are fine, but they don't make good wallpapers, I don't think. We got this is like A tier right here. This is also like A tier. The rest are probably B, C tier. This one is B, probably maybe A. This is S right here. This is also S right here. Okay, so we want our S wallpapers. All right. Fans of the channel will recognize. It's in my downloads folder. This thing was in my downloads folder. The yacht deck, yes. It's just in there. Alright. Okay. Well, that actually helps. That helps a lot. Thank you. Alright. Now we can get our yacht deck, and then discover that like it doesn't work on Vista, because I don't think I've tried this before. Perfect. All right, there we go. It was just in my downloads. Oh my god. Whatever. What the fuck even is that? It's some like Linux thing. I don't understand. Just give me the yacht deck. Come on. Oh, we have to do the thing where I like take ownership of the file. That's fine, I can do it. How do I go to the Windows folder? I need to get into the Windows folder. Bootsec.back. Let's open this with Notepad, because we can. Let's take a look if there's any text in there. Ooh, boot manager is missing. Uh-oh. Boot MGR. Yeah. Yeah, alright, good. Alright, Windows System 32. Paste it in. Will probably deny me access. It is denying me access. So, properties, security. If we go to like users, we see that we do not have full control. We don't have modified permission. The only thing that has full permission is nothing, actually. Wow, not even trusted installer? Alright, well, let's take ownership of this. If we can. Okay, we need to do that in advanced. Owner. Me! It's me! It's Romal. Place the owner on the subcontainers. And here we go. It's just that easy to fuck up your shit. I probably should have just done this on cardgames.dll itself instead of doing this. Because this actually might take some time on this computer's shitty hard drive and its shitty fucking processor and its shitty graphics card that doesn't support Arrow. What? You don't have permission? Fucking give it to me. I want the permission. Give me access. Okay. Now we close everything. We open it back up. And users, we're gonna give that all of it, full control. We're gonna give both of these all of it. I'll reduce security. Like I give a fuck. ACL me, motherfucker. Now can we paste this in? Did I do my homework? Fuck. What? No. What? Why? No. I took ownership of everything. I guess I have to do this individually for card games. I have to like set the permissions. Yeah. Okay. Which I can do because I own it. Administrators. Yes. Allow full control. Allow full control. Yes. Okay. Got it. Done. Boom. Replace. Yes. Hearts. Switch the deck. Oh, they actually are fanned out. Switch the deck. Red felt, large print deck. Boom. At least we got something to work. Ladies and gentlemen, we got them. Alright, so we're going to play a game of Hearts now. We're just going to do a game of Hearts. And it's getting late, but we'll wrap this up quick. We have a 3-hour and probably going to be 3-hour 30-minute video to upload. Yes. Sounds good to me. Alright, who are we playing with? Let's get the whole Ashmore crew. Let's get FVR. And I'm going to have to actually look up who the fuck these people are. I forgot. The other fucking Ashmore people. Alright. What record even is it? I forget. I forgot. I forgot. Don't remember. Loyalty. No. Shit. What? No, I forgot. What? Oh no, it was this one? No. Dea. That's right. I don't know if there's a fourth one. We'll put in Mikil. We'll put in her brother. And then Dea. Don't show tips. I'm a professional. Okay, now we get to play the game. Okay, I definitely don't want this. We have an opportunity to get rid of all of these stones, which is nice, but somebody's probably... That's too risky. I don't want to get fucked if somebody has the king, or the queen, rather. We can get rid of all eggs, potentially. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, I gave that to Evyar, so I need to watch that really carefully. Let's try to exhaust. Mikil's already out of flowers. Oh dear. I need, Evyar is going to play her Ace of Stones, so I think I'm actually just screwed now. Because if I play this, then she won't play it. But if I, So what's my way out? My way out is I need to get somebody else to take this and play an egg. That's my only out here. So we'll do that. She didn't play it. What? I have to assume. Okay, there it goes. Okay, of course you would do that. I need to take this. I need to start taking these. Okay, yeah, Edgar's out of flowers. Okay, egg was played. We're safe. Woo! That was close. Thanks a day, you fucking bitch. Okay, now I don't want her to shoot the moon, so I want to take this potentially if I can. Okay, good. Alright, no moon shooting. Now this one, most people will have a heart at this point, and we can go all out. We can go all in. Alright. Oh, okay, we might take that one. We'll take it so that we can play the flower. Alright. Okay, that wasn't perfect, but alright. Okay, we didn't get the queen, we didn't get the Rome Mall. That's good. Okay. That's interesting. They're tempting me to get rid of this. I actually think I want to just dump these hearts, though. Well, yeah, I'll dump the hearts, sure. Of course, naturally that's going to happen, so it's actually a good idea to keep this one. Alright, what do I want to do to get rid of this queen and king pair? I guess I need to take all of these flowers and just keep going for it. So we'll play Gimel, and then we'll play Kiri, and then we'll play this 8. Okay. Now, naturally, people are going to want to play stones. I don't think I can actually get all the eggs out. I need somebody else to play a flower at this point. I'm kind of relying on that. There are all those egg face cards that haven't been played yet. I want to get rid of this because, yeah, somebody will definitely play that. And now I'm slowly backing myself into a corner. That ace hasn't come out yet. I could take the chance. I could take the chance. What stones have been seen so far? There's only been 4 stones played. There's been 8 stones played. The jack was played. I think on average, everyone is going to have more stones they want to play than the ace, so I don't think I can afford to play this, but I also can't afford to play any of these either if that's the case. So this has probably maybe a higher chance of success. Alright. Well, I did my best. I just want to... I could try to shoot the moon right now, but I don't have a great set of cards for that, so I'm gonna just, I guess, try to stay low profile and avoid the rest. Yeah, we can get rid of that, and then if people just don't play hearts, we should be alright. Okay, that's good. McKill got fucked. Okay, that's good, that's good. Okay, me got mega fucked, look at that. Oh, joy. Okay, let's maybe try to get rid of all of our eggs. These are bad for me. I like having lots of stones though, so let's go with that. Okay. Decent hand. Decent hand. Alright, eggs. It's really, really unlikely anybody will fuck me and I can get rid of eggs with this. Okay, good. Let's discard all of our eggs. Got the king coming out. Everybody's had stuff so far. I want to take this so that I can get rid of the flowers. Okay, boom, flowers done. Somebody else takes that with Amel. Now we can start loading up, but yeah, I think I'm just sitting pretty here if I break hearts. It's probably fine, because I got low hearts too. I don't want Indea to shoot the moon, so I could take this. I can always take something later. Oh, maybe I can't. Oh no, she might do it. Okay, woo. All right. Well, now we're just sailing. Now we're just sailing. All right, perfect. Easy game, easy life. We're still in third though. FVR is killing it. No points. No points. Wow, this hand is fucked. Are you kidding me? Well, at the very least, I can try to expend these stones or these flowers quickly. Okay, let's try to get rid of this, and then we can try to get rid of the eggs, but maybe. Okay. All right. Okay. Now we're in a situation where we can switch the turn to somebody else, have them play an egg or something else. I need to be able to okay, I take that, give that to someone else. Heart. I don't want to take it. This is starting to get dicey as fuck. Uh-oh. So if I play this, this 10 needs to go to somebody else. And it will be, and they will need to play. Okay, we actually got out of there just fine. We got out of there just fine. Indea is gonna lose the game real quick. She's getting destroyed. Alright, I want to keep these. We can try to get rid of this, I guess, but really I don't want the queen there. Okay. So many flowers, holy shit. Very cool, okay. I could play this now, take the risk that FVR doesn't have it, but I'm not going to do that. I don't feel very good about that. Okay, now I can play this, and now we can try to get that queen out. Okay, so the queen didn't come out, FVR didn't have it. So basically I need to evacuate all these high cost cards from my hand really, really soon. Oh, I have an egg. Whoops. Okay, one of these two fuckers has it. So we're gonna try to bait it out potentially. Okay, there it is. And I am free to not take this. I think I would rather get rid of this maybe. No, that's gonna be useful. No, this is not useful. But this is not useful either. This sucks. I hate this more. Let's get rid of that. Let's make sure Indea doesn't shoot the moon, I guess. Yeah, so I'll keep the heart just in case, maybe? Yeah, alright, well, Indea's not shooting it. Okay, that's good. Now we can... Oh, I should have thought about that a little bit. No, I want to give someone else the privilege of playing their cards. There we go. Okay. Moving on up. Evyar is wrecking everyone. I gotta get ahead of Evyar. And Dea takes another Queen of Spades, Queen of Stones. Okay, so I have it. I can keep it. Is this a moon shootable hand? Kind of. We could take a risk. We could take quite the risk here. We have so many aces. I think I'm going for it. So what does that mean I want to remove? These low cost ones? I guess. Oh shit. Dude, we're like stacked for this. We can do it. We can do it. Okay, so how do I need to play this? I can just line this shit up. We got, look at this. 9, no, that's 7, 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace. It's insane. But hearts need to get broken for me to pull that off. So what I need to do is maximize play now. So let's do this. Oh my god, uh-oh. Oh boy. We're still good, I think. We're still good. We're still good so far. Okay, we got all the hearts. Something just needs to happen now. We gotta have a play happen. Okay, this is the part where I can start taking these. No! Okay, maybe we're still fine. Fuck. Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh. Oh no. It went horribly wrong. Oh dear. Oh. Kill you, fuck. You took it. You took my shoot the moon. I'm so mad. I'm angered. I'm upset. I'm frustrated. This is a good hand, though. Pull it back. Take it back now, y'all. Alright, let's play this. This is a good play. Ooh! Alright, that was nice. And low cost. Egg. Could break hearts, but I think I'd rather this is more valuable to get out of my hand. As with this, potentially. Yeah, let's just... Okay, I need to start getting these out, though. Make sure that McKill does not shoot the moon. Which means I have to consider taking this. Which I think I will. I'm scared. Ow. Alright, well, actually, nothing bad happened there. I don't know why I'm acting like it did. Okay, we're good now. We're cush. No points. No points this hand. Oof. Somebody's got to bring Evyar down a notch. Maybe I can at least get second place. Alright. This hand is good too. We're looking to get rid of all these stones. So yeah, let's just try to bait out. Yep, there it is. Dea gets it. God, you suck at this game. Since that's already out, I feel pretty safe playing this. And we can just go for these. Alright, hearts. Sure. Hearts are broken. I'd rather not take any. Okay. I have such low cost cards. It's nice. So I can... a lot of flowers haven't been played. Yeah, it's probably safe play. Okay. That was the wrong play there. It's fine though. Alright, did Evyar got 2 points. Still in third. Oh wait, the game's over! No! I'm third? I'm third? Evyar, you fuck. You're too good at this. Well, I think that's going to be all. I think that's going to be it for this video. So, if you made it this far, thanks for kicking back and smoking a joint with me. Hopefully you had some kind of fun. Maybe you just skipped to the end. If you just scrubbed to the end, hey, you should watch the whole video. I know that some of you out there, at least one of you, is dumb enough to watch this entire thing. And I salute you. And maybe we'll do this again sometime. As I said, I'd love to get somebody else in here. If somebody else is interested in doing this, we could do it in a VM or something. We could do a similar kind of thing. We could do it with other versions of Windows. We could try to get Arrow working on a different computer maybe. I don't know. There's lots of interesting stuff. There's plenty to do in Windows, let me tell you. There's like some more like graphics hacks we could do on like Minesweeper and Hearts and other games like that. We could play Texas Hold'em. I don't know. There's a lot of options, so I think it would be fun to do like a maybe 3-4 hour video again that involves another person. That could be fun. So yeah, let me know if you think that might be cool. I'll do it. And I got nothing else to say. By the way, if you are just skipping to the end of this video, I will watch the first like 30 to 45 minutes of it, because that's where the actual important stuff is, where I talk about doughbyte and AOR. The rest of it you can skip, but watch the first 30 to 45 minutes. Alright, we're going to go ahead and shut this boy down, and that'll be it. So thanks again for experiencing this with me, and I'll see you at some other point. Oh my god, my throat is going to be so sore. Oh well. Bye everyone.